We are live.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. It is what time is it? I don't even know what
It's
time it is.
10:15, man.
Oh
It ain't that
snap.
bad. We said we was gonna do 10 o'clock. It ain't that bad.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? How was your weekend, brother?
It was pretty good, man. It was pretty good. Uh, I didn't really do too much. I went to Maya track meet.
Mm-hmm.
She had a good track meet. Uh, I feel like my weekends be coming and going, bro. It takes so long to come and then it leaves so fast. Maybe because it's only 2 days, right?
That's exactly it. Well, now because you got a family. I mean, you've had a family for quite some time, but like now that you've got your unit the way you have it, they taking up a majority of your time. And then any kind of squeeze in any kind of work you can get in around it. It just makes that weekend flash by. I mean, my weekends flash by the same way. You know
You
what I
know,
mean?
what's crazy about that though? Like even like just talking about the family aspect of it. It's crazy how like people perceptions can be like different.
Mhm.
Like you was like, man, your family probably take out most majority of your time, and I would
Mhm.
like to think that. But then like if you was to ask the other side, it's probably like I don't have enough time for my family. It's just
Mhm.
it's always funny to see how like people see things differently in their perspective.
Right. Well, it's the interpretation of time. So
Mm,
you might be. I'm looking at it from the utilitarian perspective. So you're picking people up, you're dropping people off. People got to get fed. You do.
yeah.
You got to do that, and this is all family based. But the other individual may be speaking of emotional support or quality
Mm,
time, or
facts.
what I mean. And that is where a lot of people need to learn to get on the same page. Is that, like, what I mean? I'm here, I'm present.
Yeah, yeah,
And
that's true
that
though. Because just
that
because
should
you're
be
there don't mean you're present though, right? Like
right.
you could be there momentarily, there in time,
Mhm.
there in like flesh, but you might not be there in mental. You might not be there and you might not be present with your heart, if that makes sense. Intentionality, right?
Right.
You could be there and take up space all you want. And it's funny because you said something about emotional support, and I
Mhm.
was talking to my deacon at church, and he was saying like, we are trying to understand our woman and understand the other sex. And I guess he had went out on a walk one day, and it was so dope what he learned, because he had went out for a walk and he was talking to this girl, and he was like, "Yo, what can I ask you a question?" She's like, "Yeah." He's like, what would you say that woman want?" And he was talking to a woman, and
Mhm.
she was like kind of like dismissive at first. He was like, "No, I'm married. I was just curious or whatever." And she was like, "Yes." And he was like, stability. And she was like, "Nah, emotional support." And the crazy thing about that story was a lot of men think like women want stability, and they might do want stability, but the number one thing on that list, I would like to say, is emotional support. But what happens in the same conversation is it's hard for men to give emotional support because we don't know how to be emotional supportive of ourselves, because we're naturally just, let's say, logical thinkers. And this is not taken away from a woman, not saying that women aren't logical, but
Mhm.
naturally we are kind of the opposite of emotional supportive to
Correct.
ourselves. And even far as to say, I don't even know if logical and emotional support can go hand in hand, right? Because when you talk about logical, we think about logical.
Emotional support can go
Yeah,
hand.
because when we think about logical, I don't know if they can be synonymous, because like if you think about logical, you're thinking about numbers, you think about statistics, you're thinking about
Mhm.
factual things, right?
Mhm.
Emotional support might not always be statistically correct, and emotional support might the data might not always be in support
Mhm.
of emotional support, if that makes sense. But
Hmm.
somehow you still have to be able to be there, be present, and emotionally to support not only yourself but your partner as well. So like that was a crazy conversation.
That's a component of growth that I feel like is a part of becoming a man, is understanding that when you are connected to a woman, that there are different things that they require, and we have to learn how to give them not all of it all of the time. I feel like some individuals are spoiled as hell, so like they feel like they require 24/7 connectivity because of that cell phone. But like
Mm,
they need to understand that, like, what we need to understand is we have to make time, and even in moments where we feel like we don't have time, we have to learn how to find ways to connect and communicate. But women also have to recognize, opposite sex or whatever, need to recognize
Yeah.
that this can't be a 24/7 thing. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I'll give you a prime example. 90% of the time when I'm in relationships, I'm getting phone calls all day long. What you doing? Where you at? And I'm like, I'm working. And I'm
Mhm.
like, I can't be on the phone because I can't swing a hammer and hold the phone up to my ear at the same time. Or like I'm trying to put a wall up and all right, or call me back later. They call you at lunchtime. You're like, yo, what y'all doing for lunch? And I'm like, all right, I don't want to chew, but they're yearning for your connection.
Facts.
And because whatever's built up within them, they need to get that off, or they need to feel heard, or they might need advice, or most of the time they don't want no advice, but but there's so much there. So like we got to learn how to draw the balance on both sides.
Is the background too loud?
No,
Okay.
tell her to make me some chicken while she up in there. Tell her while
Nah.
she banging them pans. Feel me? But go ahead.
Now you know it's funny, bro, because now that you said that, it's not even not speaking so much of the other side, right? Like I like to like speak on my side because that's the side I can speak to.
Mm-hmm.
Understanding that even with the emotional support aspect of it, that's not an all the time thing. Because I think
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, or not even sometimes, speaking for myself, sometimes I get frustrated in those moments of needing emotional support or like being able to acknowledge that's what's needed right now, and you
Mm-hmm.
overlook what's being needed by your own like personal standard or your own personal opinion when this isn't a everyday thing, right? Like sometimes you gotta remind yourself, okay, this isn't an everyday thing, so I can deal with this now. I can be present in the moment and handle what's in front of me right now, and not
Mm-hmm.
make it a all the time thing because it's not an all the time thing. We talk about things like emotions, like I don't know, pregnancy, menstrual cycles, things like that, and just men doing a better job of understanding that this isn't an all the time thing, and let me deal with what's in front of me. As long as it's not like I'm not excusing like inappropriate behavior, like disrespect and things like that, but just
Correct.
them emotional telltale signs, right? Like, bro, sometimes you might have to be a little bit more patient
Right.
than you might want to be, but this is a momentarily thing, and this is going to get me to see the tomorrow. Where they say like, just let it fight another day.
Right. But I also feel like it goes back to us learning how to understand value. And so, like, your partner may take you through some extra stuff sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
but we need to understand the value of that partner. If that partner is pouring into us, if that partner is supporting us, if that partner is pushing you to grow, supporting growth, you know what I mean? Then he or she might be a little bit more annoying for that month or
Mm.
for that year, but you can't then discount the rest of the journey. You know what I mean? Like, so what, that person is going through whatever and you frustrated and man, I'm tired of this person. But it's like, all right, but for the 5 years before that, they was everything you needed. So
Mm.
now you about to throw it away just because. And I feel like that's a lot of things that happen. I've heard people like, well, I ended the marriage because I just got to a stage where I felt like I was better than they were. And it's just like, okay, but what about the whole 10 years when you didn't feel like you were better or you weren't better than them or whatever? I'm like, yo, the relationship is still there. The
Mm.
value is still there. And you just need to be patient, and like in running any marathon, you're not always going to be neck and neck the whole time. Sometimes you might be lapping your partner.
Mm.
Sometimes they might be lapping you, but y'all
Right.
on the same team. Understanding that on a team, everybody's not going to be playing at 10. You know what I mean? So we got, once again, it's valuing your partner. If they are bringing everything good to and wonderful to your life,
But I
then
think that's, it's funny, bro, that we having this conversation. And again, I can't speak too much on the other side, but I think that's a logical response though. Like I think
Mhm,
that makes sense, right? Because in the moment when I'm frustrated, I can understand that. But when we're
mhm,
talking about emotional support, I don't think, and I'm trying to be careful because I don't know, right? Because again, I can't speak to that side, but I don't know if I can say the same for the other side, right? Because it's like you're only thinking emotionally, you're only thinking about right now, you're only thinking about how you feel in the moment, right? But when we're
mhm,
talking about a logical standpoint, that makes sense. Like, okay, I know that I feel the way right now, but this ain't how I feel forever. This ain't how I'm going to feel forever. This ain't how I always felt. So let me just deal with this in a moment. I think that's a logical way of thinking, though.
Man way of thinking, correct.
Yeah, man. With yeah. So it's like, I don't
On
know.
the flip,
The
well,
slippery
I mean,
slope.
yeah, a whole paradigm can shift, but once again, it still comes down to mentorship. If you've got a village around you of married women and they've all been in 30, 40-year marriages and you're in your first 5 or 10 years, well, yeah, when you start feeling like, I don't want to be this way, I don't want to, guess what? That village is going to come around you and have those real discussions with you, you know what I mean, to teach you how to handle things. I feel like a lot of those issues that have been arising is because there are so many lack of marriages,
But
lack
that's
of
our,
examples.
yeah, I was about to say, that's our culture in general as a black culture. Like, when you say if you have these villages around you, bro, especially nowadays, talk about millennials, we barely even have our families. It's nowhere near how it was back in the day where you had
Right.
a gang of family. You know, like my grandmother, she had like 10 kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, nowadays, like, you probably had 1 or 2 kids because you don't want to do that. You want to have your own fun, and nothing wrong with that. But now we barely even have a family for ourselves, let alone have a village of people who have a family, who have a village of people who's married. So where are we going to get that information from? Right? Like, I'm
Ha.
fortunate, like, so it's like, it's easy to say, or not saying you're saying it like it's easy, but it's easy to say like we need a village that's going to talk you through things when you're going through it. But we barely got a village for our kids, for ourselves. So it's like, I don't know.
Okay, so in response to that, I would say you create the village that you need, meaning that you find productive, happy couples. Find and I know the young people are gonna hate this. Find older people that have been married 40 years, 30 years, that might be 60, 70 years old. I don't understand this whole, I don't want to be around old people. No, man, like, there's a lot to learn from the older generation. Yo, my landlord is like 70 years old, bro. I took her to the movies like 3 weeks ago just because she ain't got nobody, and but she fun to be around. And I did, my little date fell through, and I wasn't going like waste the tickets. Hey, yo, you want to go to the movies? Come on, bro. And like, we had a blast. I feel like we can create the villages. We can create our family circles. If you don't have a family, create a family,
Right.
and making sure that you curate that circle with people that you see that are positive, people that are patient, people that want to see you succeed genuinely and not from a selfish perspective. You know what I mean? And then within that family, you're going to find that balance. But as much as you're creating it, you have to be pouring into the family as much as you're trying to get out of it. And that's a super important component. Just don't surround yourself with great people and then you sucking all of them dry.
No, facts.
So,
Facts.
go ahead.
100%. No, I just think it's definitely a it's hard, but like they say, it's an old saying, and it's cliche, but they say it's cliche for a reason, right? Uh, Nothing worth having is going to be easy, like, right?
Right.
Like, anything that's worth having is going to be hard. That's with anything. That's with life. You know what I'm saying? Shit, life is hard. So it's like, I think you made a great point about just understanding the value. I think that's the most important thing, because we talk about that in church. A lot of people aren't. I feel like a lot of people are lazy with their religion and their spirituality because they don't understand the value in the higher power. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you understood the value in the higher power, if you understood the value in heaven and God, whoever you deem as God, then you will understand the work that has to be done here on earth. Right? But because you don't understand the value in God or heaven, or you just don't believe in all, it's like, hey, I'm gonna just do what I want. And
I just put a little clip in the joint, and you'll be surprised how much what you saying is gonna match.
As God's way. I handle no's now as God's way of guiding me. I don't see it as that person rejected me. I just see it as I'm not meant for that. Yeah. What is for me will not pass me by, and if it passes me by, it's not for me.
Come on.
So that's how I handle my no's.
whew, that's fire.
So that's back to kind of compliment the point that you're making, is that while we're on this journey, it's not meant to be hard, but the more you settle into the confidence of your faith, the confidence of your journey, the confidence of who you are, you start recognizing that, the successful moments are meant for you. and the moments that pass by you are meant to pass by you. You weren't meant to go down that road wasn't meant for you. You know, what's for you is for you, and that should help calm you in times of difficulty and trial.
Yes.
And the most important thing is to continue to evolve yourself and to maintain to be the best person, so that you don't freak out the people that are in your charge.
But again, that's a
We're
logical
all
way of
humans.
thinking. We are
Humans.
humans, but I feel like that's a lot, because think about it. When we say logic, I think of 1 + 1 = 2,
Correct.
right? Or I don't know, 10 plus 13 = 23. You raise the 3. You know what I'm saying? Like I say that to say, when it's math, right? When something is going wrong, I have to understand that this isn't my life forever. I also have to understand that this is for a purpose and a reason to get me through it, to learn something. I think that's math, and I think that's logic. But when you don't have that, or when that's, I don't want to say not have it, because we all have it. When that's absent, right? When logic is absent, you don't think straight. I'm trying to be careful with my words, but like, you're not thinking about those things. You're not thinking about, this is only momentarily. This is not going to last long. You're thinking like, man, I can't handle this, and I'm exploding. I need a break, right?
Okay, go ahead. I'm listening.
No, that's it. That's what
okay. So in response to that, and once again, I'm not the super religious person, but there are certain things that I implement in my life because it helps tame the insanity that is within me. And that's the best way I can explain it. Meditation is so important. Is because as you're going through all these things and your mind is racing, and the frustration and the anger and all of these emotions are racing through your body, guess what? Meditation helps to center you.
Facts.
It helps you to not see, like, people think that meditation is all about control. Meditation is all about letting go.
Yes.
Allowing the emotions to run their course without you responding to it. And then in the allowing of the emotions to move, you can find the truth in yourself. You know what I mean? So like, you'll be angry, but as meditation happens, you'll start realizing why you're angry. And then you can start answering yourself. And is this necessary? All right, I'm angry. This happened. All right. And then the logic comes. This is out of my control. I can't control it. This has happened. I feel the anger. I understand my anger, but my anger does not dominate me. My anger does not own me. I am not required to respond to this emotion. The same thing with sadness, same thing with depression, same thing with fear. Like meditation, and even and don't think of some mystical, Buddhist thing. Like meditation could be just sitting quietly to yourself. You close your eyes, you let go.
And you know what else meditation can be?
What?
I feel like meditation can also be something, you might not like this, but something that you enjoy, like a hobby, right? Like for me, I just got back into running. So like me running has been time for me to meditate, where I can let go. All I do is focus on the next mile ahead. I'm focusing on my time. I'm focusing on getting through this. I'm focusing on breathing. And a big part of meditation and yoga is breathing, right? So like when I'm running, I know I might be tired. I'm running up the hill, and I might have to focus on my breathing so I can get through this next mile. I think that's part of meditation as well. But again, just us as African Americans, and not trying to make no excuses, I feel like we are behind the curve because my parents didn't teach me that. I'm just learning that on my own, and then I have to worry about being disciplined enough to even go through it, because another part of meditation is being disciplined to sit through it. Can you really sit in silence for 10, 20 minutes, right? Can you run? Can you do it on a consistent basis? Will you quit? Will you stop when it get hard? And that's what I think, that's the beauty in meditation, because it helps you deal with those things in real time. So because I can sit there, I can meditate, and I can sit in silence, I might be able to sit in a dark space in my life as well. That might be my silence, right? And it also doesn't always have to be like literally. It's figuratively when we talk about meditation. Like when I'm going through that hard time, and when I'm running, right, and I have to breathe to get through the next mile. How strong am I going to be? How hard am I going to how hard am I going to focus so I can get through the next mile? The same with everyday life. Like when you're going through something hard, can you just breathe and get through it? But I think a
Right.
lot of times, bro, we're behind the curve because we wasn't taught that, and
Yeah.
we don't even know how to do it.
You got, and I also tell people, and people used to think I was weird when I would say that I love the art of conversation. I loved learning to engage life in its moments so that I could learn how to control myself in various ways. So think about being excited for chaos so that you can learn how to operate 100% in it. Meaning that chaos can happen and you can remain calm. And not saying that you're not going to fear anything, but the fear happens, but you're still able to function and you're thinking logically. The fear is not gripping you and then making you, I can't, no, you have to run towards the chaos to find, you have to learn control in anger, learn control in fear, learn control in sadness. Yo, and in those, you should, and that's why I tell people, man, you gotta love life. In life, there is so many layers to it. There is the moment, there is the emotion of the moment, but then there's the higher point of it when you can exist outside. You're in the moment, the feelings are there, the moment is there, but then there's also a higher version of yourself that's going, all right, is this how I should be? Should I allow this to, even being able to say, should I allow myself to fully break down? Should I fight through this and suck up the emotion? Does this work right now? Should I hold back? Because all right, and you can look around the room and say, if I start crying now, this person's going to break down, this person, and this is not going to be functional. All right, I know this emotion is going to come out, but let me hold this until later and let me function. But that takes practice.
It does.
And it takes you to learn to be present. And that's why I say meditation really helps so much. And even
go ahead. I'm sorry, I'm going to cut you off. It also takes you wanting to do it though. Like,
correct.
We could talk about it all we want, but being able to do the work. A lot of people a lot of times we look at ourselves and we can diagnose ourselves. We can pick up Google and say what's wrong with us, right? We can say what's wrong with us when it benefits us, when we could be the victim. But are you going to do the work to get it done so you don't be the victim? But a lot of people are okay with being a victim.
Right. And let me translate something that he was saying and to make it a little bit deeper. Some people define themselves by how they emotionally respond to things. Yo, nigga, don't get me mad because I'm gonna fuck you up. Or, girl, you know how I do. I'll be falling apart. You define your existence by how you react to the world and how things happen to you. But think about how much deeper of a person you become when you remove that. Who are you without anger? Who are you without resentment? Who are you if you don't get jealous or if you don't get angry or if you don't emotionally connect? Who are you if things happen, you feel the emotion and then you don't respond at all? Who are you?
And that's what I was going to say. In the moment, we like a lot, and I've been saying this a lot lately. You aren't, what defines you isn't when everything is going well. It's how you react in the moments of adversity, right? So you can be upset, you can get angry, you can get jealous, you can feel however you feel, but your character is defined by what you do in those moments and what you do when times are hard, not when times are easy, right? So if somebody do you wrong, right, and you have all the right to retaliate and do something wrong to them, you have the right to do that, right? But you are defined by the decision you decide to do in that moment. So if you decided to retaliate, even though you had the right to, that's who you are as a person. That's who your character is. Because at the end of the day, when all odds are against you, right? And your back is up against the wall, and when you react to that moment however you want to react, that's how you are, right? You can act like you aren't that person all you want. You can not put yourself in environments, you can do whatever it takes for you not to be that person. But at the end of the day, when hard times are presented and you react in a moment, that's who you are. It just is what it is. Not saying we don't backslide or make mistakes, but it's just.
Well, also, you have to remember, and this kind of goes into the concept of forgiveness is for you, not for them. You have to understand that forgiving and letting go is about you growing. And it's about you moving forward and not existing in it. So I'll give you a prime example. I have a brother whom is a beautiful person, super intelligent man, however, still lives in 2002 because one of the greatest, what he defines as the greatest failure of his life happened in 2002. So he literally colors his entire life based around this one bad moment. So everything gets painted. Chipotle gets painted with 2002 brush. You know, marriage painted with 2002 brush. Well, man, I did this and that, and that's the reason why this is going bad because, and it's like, bro, that moment was that moment. And the only reason why that moment still is affecting every other part of your life is because you keep it here. You keep bringing it into your life. You keep letting it affect you in the moment. Forgiveness is about letting it go so it doesn't continue to affect other parts of your life. That it happened. They made a mistake. You made a mistake. A mistake was made. Guess what? It happened. It is done. Forgive yourself. Forgive them, for they do not know what they do. Jesus said, yo, we all live in the matrix. These niggas are subject to their programming. That's what they know, not what they do means they are only subject to their program. They're going to do what they're going to do. DTLR screwed you over because that's the way they were, because that's the way they've programmed their little tribe to be. And you didn't fit within their programming and how they wanted things to be done. So it's, yo, he ain't fitting what we do. All right, cool. Have a nice day, bro. You go do your thing. It's not. And as much as it might have been personal to a certain extent, but guess what? They still have to grow. There are still people that are existing in a way that only works for them. They can't think about other people. So when you start recognizing that and you go, this ain't got nothing to do with me, bro. All right, man, I wish y'all the best. Hey, man, it was good to get to know you. It's good to get to know your programming. And I understand. And you know what? And I hope that you grow past your programming so that you can help more people, so that you don't hurt people the way you hurt me at that time. And I forgive you in hopes that in me giving you forgiveness, you find the growth that you need. Facts. So that the next person doesn't take the hit. I'm built to take the hit. So go ahead, swing, baby, because hopefully in you hurting me, then you'll recognize that you're causing pain and you won't hurt the next person.
Facts. That's 100%, man. We can go all day about this, bro. Let's get into the pod. I feel like we've been boring the people, man. We having some great conversation. For the people that's into this, we have some great conversation, but let's get in. You know, people want to hear the shits and giggles. Like,
I want to go with this Emmanuel Seals.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I want to go with that too.
I just want to say something. If it wasn't for y'all, I would really think that I ain't doing it. Because the industry I'm in does not recognize me. And to be clear, I'm speaking about the black spaces in the industry I'm in, because y'all know I don't give two damns about any of these other spaces, but the black spaces is what I'm referring to, which is largely in part why I've realized like I need to shift out of this industry. You know, like I don't get invited to Essence Women in Hollywood. I've never been invited to the NAACP Image Awards. I've been nominated for an Image Award. Never been invited to the NAACP Image Awards. Never been honored at Black Girls Rock. Like I've hosted these events, you know what I'm saying? I literally hosted the BET Awards in 2020 in my house, and I was not invited to the BET Awards since. So I just want to thank y'all for always reminding me that I really am valuable, because the game and the industry that I've been in has never let me know.
So I would like to, number one, say, Amanda, I understand how you feel. Man, to do so much tremendous work and to create so many things that you've created and to not be recognized, yeah, it kind of sucks. You know, I told Jay Hill before we started this that I was triggered when I saw this clip, because the first thing I thought is, and this is has Jay Hill in it, but it ain't got nothing to do with Jay Hill. I can go in Jay Hill comments, and I know people that I've personally helped put hours in helping them with their creativity or their art, and have loved on them and supported them financially, physically, and they won't be in my comments for nothing, but they'll be all in Jay Hill comments. Oh, Jay, you the greatest, yo. Oh, yeah. And I won't get one comment. Yo, they'll come and spend money to be at Jay Hill event, but won't drop $1 for mine. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that hurts. I see people celebrate people around our diaspora, our local diaspora, and I don't get invited to events. I don't get invited to partake in any kind of financial anything. I don't get invited to nothing. But there are so many people that I have put myself to the side. And instead of focusing on building myself, I've built them and not been acknowledged. My birthday will come and go. I won't even get a happy goddamn birthday. You know what I mean? And so I understand her frustration. However, what I will say is, this is the reason why it's so important for you to understand why you get into this. You need to understand why you're here. And if why you're here is for the highs, you're gonna live by the booze. You know, if you are here, you'll die by the booze. And the point I'm making is that, are you here because you want to create great content? Or are you here because you want to be loved, or you need to be accepted? Now, what I'm not going to do is discount her comments, because at the end of the day, when you bust your ass and you know you do dope shit, like, yo, at the end of the day, we all want to be respected. We all want to be acknowledged. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to be acknowledged. But the thing I loved about the end of her statement is she spoke directly to her audience and said, yo, that's the why I appreciate y'all. Because without y'all, I don't know what I'd be doing. And that's super important, is that understand where your wins come from. She understands that her win is that audience. All the work that she put in, no awards, but guess what? She's got an audience that's gonna financially support her throughout the entirety of her career. And as long as she keeps acknowledging and recognizing the people that go to bat for her for in whatever way possible, that is the win. And keep building on those wins. And if you really want to be acknowledged, you have to understand that either you want to play the game or you not. You can't complain about the game if you're not going to play the game. The music industry is a politics game. So if you're not willing to play the politics game, how are you complaining about not winning in the game? That's like saying, man, Mario, I ain't never get a Mario Brothers award. Well, nigga, you don't play Mario Brothers. How the fuck you gonna get an award for that? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if you're not gonna go out to the events, shake hands, kiss the babies, and deal with the fuck shit that's a part of the game, guess what? They not about to acknowledge you and make you a part of nothing. And yes, you'll be a work for hire whenever they need you, because when they need your audience, guess what? They'll call you and they'll come, they'll put you out front, they'll shake your hand, kiss on you, and they'll shove you out the door once they're done with you, because that's how the game works. Don't get it twisted. Beyonce and Jay-Z have just as many issues and problems, but they understand the game is the game. So, you know,
I think, bro, it's funny that you said that, because I think you hit it on the nose. And it's crazy because like it hit home for me too. And you know, I don't do it for the praise. If anything, I like you said, I understand the statement of like, if you do it for the praise, or if you get hype off if you live by the praise, you'll die by the booze, right? If you live by the acceptance, you'll die by the critics. It just is what it is, and I understand that. But at the same time, I'd be lying to say if I didn't want to feel respected, because that's how we feel. That's how our work is measured in our industry, and that's in any industry, about the awards that get accepted, right? About how your peers acknowledge you and respond to you. I think that's something that comes with the game. But you said something that was important, and that's understanding your why, right? Understanding that, and that's why I say the things I say all the time that might come off wrong, but that's how I continue to go, and I do this for me, right? So me doing this for me is my defense mechanism to say, if all else fails, if nobody accepts me, if nobody likes me, I can get up in the morning, look myself in the mirror, and know that I did this for me. So I'm proud of myself and I'm happy for myself. That doesn't mean that sometimes I get frustrated when I feel like I don't be treated fairly, or sometimes I get frustrated when I feel like I don't get the award or recognition that I deserve. I put in the work. So yeah, Sometimes I feel like that, but I do understand at the end of the day, and this comes back to the logic. It comes back to the mentality, and it comes back to just meditating. These are things that I understand will happen along the way. So when those moments happen, I'm already prepared for it. I'm already prepared to give myself that prep talk, right? And it's something that you said in the beginning. I wanted to talk to you because I feel like that to this day, but I understand the game. Like you said, if you want to play the game, you want to play by it. I made a joke to one of my friends. I ain't gonna say their name, but like I don't ever get like invited to their parties or whatever. Their little special invite only parties. But I'm also not in the rooms that they're in all the time because I don't care to play that game. So if I'm not going to play that game, I'm not going to be in these rooms. I'm not going to kiss ass. If I'm not going to be this person, when these events happen, I got to be accepting to what follows by it. It just is what it is, right? And even just being to the person, I'm going to get back to the point, what you were saying in a second, but even being to the person that I'm not like, and this is no knock to nobody. I'm not a yes person, but I'm also, some people will even say I'm combative, right? Because I speak my truth, right? I've gotten a lot better over the years, but I'm not the person that's going to be in the room and somebody is going to be saying nonsense and I just nod my head. That's not me. I have to understand how that makes other people uncomfortable. Kanye West said something the other day in an interview and it kind of messed me up because, you know, I'm a big Kanye West fan. And he was like, man, people need to know that I did this. Right. And he said he was talking to, it was in a Big Boy interview. He was talking to his producer and he was telling the producer why he wanted to change something. And his producer was saying why he should keep it the same. And he kind of got frustrated, like, bro, this is me. Y'all here because of me. And although that might be true, that never been me. Right. That never been me. Like, I'm not going to talk to my team like that. I talk to the janitor the same way I talk to my business partner with respect. You get what I'm saying? And if that was me, if I was a producer, man, fuck this. You could do this yourself. That's me, but I understand how that can rub people wrong, especially when people are in high positions, right? Somebody that's in a high position, you got to understand. My mom's always told me, Kenny Rogers, know when to hold, know when to fold, know when to walk away, right? And especially in these moments when you're dealing with people with a lot of money and dealing with people that have a lot of publicity or a lot of things going for them, you can't just tell them what you want to tell them in the moment you want to tell them. It just don't work like that. And I had to learn that along the way. Because sometimes you might be thinking somebody wrong, but challenging them on a spot is going to do less, it's going to do more harm than good. And you have to understand it. And I understand that sometimes my mentality and just how I am as a person might not mesh well with somebody who was like that. That doesn't say anything about them or me. It's just sometimes that doesn't mesh. And I have to understand that, bro, this is the life that I chose for myself. And I got to be okay with it. This independent route with the podcasting. You're not on the radio. You don't do the things these guys do. So you might not get the accolades that they get. You gotta be you gotta be okay with the route you decided. And I'm not trying to be long-winded here, but it touched me too. You get what I'm saying? Especially in the beginning when you was like, yo, it might be people in my comments that might not be in your comments. I felt that way before. And I learned early that it's a saying that used to go around Baltimore, and I'm sure it go around the whole world. They don't support what was it? They don't support what's good. They support what's popular.
That's a fact.
I learned this. I learned this in the beginning, bro. And this is one of the biggest lessons I learned. Guess what? If that's life, I ain't trying to change it. Get popular. Period. You know what I'm saying? This ain't a knock against nobody else. This is why I took the route that I took. Mind you, I hate it now, right? We talk about this all the time. I'm talking to you because we talk about this. It's not even about the cameras or nothing. I don't even like the route I'm on now because it doesn't do anything for me. They hear from my guests, right? What about me? But I took that route because I understood the game. And the game is the game. I might not be the one that's going to change the game. So I'm gonna do what I gotta do to get in the door.
That's a fact. And then let's I want to expand on what you just said. The game was the game. You recognize that people are going to follow popularity. So you interview popular people. But then when it came time for people to just tune into you was like, man, why am I not getting as many responses? It's because now you realize I got to become the popular person.
Yeah.
Like it's something that you never wanted. I never wanted to be popular. I just wanted to do my podcast and have fun. And it's crazy that now I have to go the route of do whatever you got to do to become popular so that you can live the dream that you want to live. And that's understand what goes back to understanding purpose.
You taught me this though, like partially. I can't ignore that I can't ignore the platform that the popular people gave me though. So
Mm-hmm.
like, if it wasn't for them, I probably wouldn't have 70,000 followers, right? And then
Correct.
I wouldn't be able to have 20 patrons, right? That's not a lot, right? I mean, well, I'm blessed to have that, but I have peers that have way more than that, right?
You got
So
20
it gave me
patrons signed up?
no, it's like 14 that's paid, I think, something like that.
Hey,
So
I only got 19, so like shout out to you, nigga.
I say that to say it gave me a start because again, people support what's popular, and I have the numbers, and I'm popular in that aspect of it. You get what I'm trying to say? I just played the game. You get what I'm saying? So it's like I definitely understand that, and I feel that way because even to this day, I feel like I don't be getting the respect I deserve. You feel me? Like, especially when it comes to podcasting. But I understand, like, I don't know. I'm big on reality. Like, it is what it is. Like, I wouldn't say I was talking to Mandy B. Shout out to her, and I was like, man, I wouldn't say that I have a standard podcast. This is a podcast. That's why when we get 1,000, 2,000 views on this, I'm hyped. People, this is the shit that people don't even see. Like, I'm hyped. I'm like, man, I just did 100,000 views on the interview I just did, but I got 2,000 views on one of our clips last week, and I'm hyped. Like, that made me way hyper than besides the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, besides the money, but because 100,000 views get you a couple dollars, but besides the money, I'm more hype over 2,000 views than because they coming for us. I don't care if I hit you. I'm like, it's a bunch of negative comments, but hey, I don't care. Like, hey, it is what it is, right? But I say that to say, man, just understanding the game, and I ain't trying to change it. It is what it is. You feel me? Like my almost 100,000 subscribers on YouTube are able to get me to 2,000 views when I go by myself. But I understand that, like, I don't have a conventional podcast, so I'm interviewing people. So people might not judge my content how they would judge somebody else when somebody else is standing on their own. I say that to say, like, I don't know, everything ain't like people be hating on me. I'm not big on that. Like, I just try to look at reality and just understand what it's worth. You feel me? Like, if I had a podcast with just me and my friends and we was doing these numbers on our own, maybe people would look at me like that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't. So maybe that's the case. So again, now let me create a podcast where it's just me and my homie and we do them numbers.
Right, facts, and let me tell you my mental state. I mean, you know, once I kind of went back through my emotions and looked at it, I realized that I was more hurt by people that I thought were genuinely my friends, and I'm like, oh, I just realized that you're not really that person to me. You know what I mean? And I think that was more hurtful than anything else.
But why? So, because they don't support your podcast?
Yeah.
You know, it's funny.
If I'm in your comments and I'm in your likes all day, every day, but then you don't like none of my shit, but then I see you on my man shit that's lit. Oh, I already know this ain't real. Go ahead.
I tell this to all my friends, bro. You can ask my line brothers. You can ask my line brothers. I don't ask none of my friends to support my podcast. None of them. And I'm gonna tell you why.
I ask all the niggas about my shit. But go ahead.
I understand that podcasting, boy. I don't even listen to podcasts. Like, it's a lot, and it's a unique space. So to ask somebody to take 2 hours out of their day to listen to something that they're genuinely not interested in because they support me, that's a lot to ask for.
That's different. I'm talking about Instagram and niggas that be on Instagram all day long, liking and commenting under everybody's shit. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, all right, yeah, I love you. You my nigga. You the greatest thing that ever happened. And they be like, oh, damn, I was just with you a week ago, helping you with ABC, X, Y, and Z. I ain't asked for no money from you. Spend my own gas, my own time. Damn. And I'm like, when I drop my little videos, I don't even get a like. That's what I'm talking about. And I know you online all day long because I see you under everywhere else, but it's not the same energy. But I'm on your page giving you energy. And like, that is sounds like, whoa, this really sounds like the shit that I hate other people talking about. And this does not occupy even a tenth of my brain power.
Wait. Is this something that you do? Like, do you intentionally go to your friends' page that like their post?
Fuck no.
Right. So maybe they're not seeing your stuff. Like, I don't know, like
they might not be. I feel you.
Like, and let's just do it because we're friends, right?
About to do math.
I don't think it's fair for you to judge your friends off a comment just because you made the example on my stuff when
you're way more popular.
No, not even that. I just don't want to sound like I don't want to sound fully into myself like that. Listen. It's not fair for you to judge your friends or comment my stuff when my stuff is getting reposted by hundreds and thousands of people sometimes. Like literally, like the little mama. It's like so everybody sees it. You get what I'm saying? So that's not fair to say you comment under J Hill post and not comment under mine when how many shares do you have? You get what I'm trying to say? It's like, and I understand the frustration, but I'm just saying like it's not fair to do that.
Right.
Am I defense of your friends?
Should I forgive them?
Yeah, like now if they like if it's just me, right? If it's like a regular post to me, because I have regular posts, a regular post to me, and it's like I don't know 100 likes, it ain't going crazy like that, and they just under every single post. Maybe you need to find some new friends. But if it's on, if it's on a post that you see on the shade room and I don't know, ball alert and on site and stuff like that.
Because like every now and then I might have a joint that'll take off. Like I would say 1 out of every 10 posts I do will take off, and then niggas will be in the joint, and I'll be like, that's whack. I just don't like it. Right. Maybe I'm just a hater. I don't know. I have hate in my blood. You know what I mean? But at the same time, but let me clarify something. I don't want y'all to stop being in J Hill's comments, because I think his attention and love is so well deserved. So let's not even get that twisted. You know what I mean? Like, please stay in that nigga comments all day long. That
somebody made a great point. I'm sorry, you gotta come on YouTube, bro.
All right, yeah, you gotta come on YouTube.
Jonathan Jones Speaks made a great point on Instagram.
Go ahead.
He said the comparison game is an L. He said, and your friends are your friends. They didn't sign up for supporting you. I think that's a great point, because that's why I say I don't ask my friends to support me. Because
Mr. Jones, please come to YouTube so I can fry your ass up like fresh fish.
But no, Jay, we didn't become friends for me to support you. That wasn't a part of the job title. Like me being your friend, like even when people ask me like, what makes you you? Everything that you don't see on camera is what makes me me, right? The fact that I'm a husband, the fact that I'm a father, the fact that I'm a friend, the fact that I got your back when the cameras aren't on here. That's what makes me your friend. Just because I don't like your post
isn't that the core backbone of what support is?
What do we I don't need to watch your podcast if I'm not interested in it.
I didn't ask you to watch the podcast. I'm saying if you're on Instagram all day, hit the like button, nigga. Like,
so that means I have to intentionally go to your page if I don't see it.
A prime example, Jay. You like all of my posts. What are you talking about?
Because I see it though.
Exactly.
But they might not see it.
How is it a nigga with 70,000 followers just seems to see my shit? Or you follow more niggas than I follow.
That's what I was about to say. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that I don't see posts. I'm pretty sure.
but also a lot of stuff offline, like a lot of this other stuff, like this is pod. We podding right now, so please don't take shit too literally. But at the end of the day, support is still support. What the fuck?
There go Mr. Jonathan Jones right there.
Yo, what the fuck? This nigga look just like a movie. What movies have you been playing in, nigga? You look like a CSI Miami nigga. Like, yo, what the fuck? Nigga, get back on set. Yo, read your lines, nigga. I do not want you to get fired on my part. Now that you on YouTube, let me fry your ass up like catfish. Yes, nigga, it is a responsibility of friendship and blood to be supportive of each other. You are not going to be family with me. Let me tell you something. I tell my friends this, any real person that's around me, my responsibility. When I call you my friend, you could call me at 2:00 in the morning, and it has happened multiple times. Yo, my tire blew out, or dog, I'm fucked up, nigga. Can you come help me? Yo, I need help. All right, my nigga, just shoot me the address.
Real love. You talking about Instagram? What are we talking about? Instagram?
Nigga, we talking about nigga. If you my mans, where my Rick Ross clip? Where is my Rick Ross clip? Yeah, come on, bro. Don't make me pull up that Rick Ross clip. Family don't even always support you. That's why they not my family.
Bro, we're talking about, listen, no, that's not true. Bro, right, we're talking about Instagram. We're talking about liking a post on Instagram, bro. We're not talking about picking you up when you need, we're not talking about picking you up at the airport when you need a ride. We're not talking about coming changing your flat tire. We're not talking about taking care of your family if something ever happens to you. We're talking about liking your post on Instagram. Come on,
you got damn right. You got damn right.
You too old for that, bro.
No. You keep lowering the bar just so people can be around. Don't lower the bar. You raise the bar up. Yo, higher expectations for those that are in your circle, nigga. Get the fucking like it. If you on the, all right, I'm not saying get an Instagram account just so you can like my post, but nigga, if you are on Instagram, like the goddamn post.
That's crazy.
Comment on the goddamn post. Come on, bro.
I got expectations, right? If you join my team, my team, right? do the work as if it was your work. That's my expectations. If you're on my team, if you're on my team, make sure my shit look good, just like I wanted to look good, and not how you half-ass your shit. That's what I'm talking about. Support, not you, my friend, and I need you to like my post on Instagram. I got enough likes. No, I'm good. And even when I didn't have enough likes, I was good. I didn't need that. What I'm telling you is, bro, somebody liking your post don't mean nothing. How much money are you getting from a post on Instagram? Nothing.
I'm getting emotional currency.
Emotional. Nigga said somebody agree with you. They said higher expectations for the people in your circle. That's correct. That's real. 100%. I get that. I'm not taking nothing away from that.
Correct.
But my expectations don't. You liking my post on Instagram ain't a part of my expectation. Now what? Let me be fair. Let me be fair. Let me bring myself down. Things are going pretty well for me on social media. In that aspect, in the moment, it's the total opposite of how it is now. I would love to have the support from my friends. So yes, it can be easy for me to say I don't need the support from my friends, because going back from the beginning, before I even got on radio, I always was in a position where I got love from the outside people, if that makes sense, right? Even somebody asked me like, "Yo, how did you get in this position?" Like, to be honest, all my life I've been in this position, but I took initiative. We just talked about Man of Seals. I've always done things to put me in that position. When I played football in high school, I put the work in to be good in football so people can love me, whatever it is. When I was in high school, I was class president, SGA vice president, one or two people to go to Chicago to represent NASA. Like, I was these things, so I didn't really need the support from the people that love me, because I was putting in the work to show my worth to the people around the world. If that makes sense, if I'm making sense. So maybe you gotta look at yourself in the mirror and say, "Yo, what am I doing to get the support from others so I don't need it from my friends?"
Facts. Okay, so I need to go and be the mayor of Baltimore City, so therefore I can get the likes on my post. All right. Okay. She said, "Girl from Harlem says that's entrepreneurship for you." And then she also said the number one thing to do is to not take things personal. Once again, let's just clarify. I'm podding right now. I don't give a fuck about any of this shit. I don't even really be on my Instagram like that.
No, you can't do that, bro.
Come on,
and you can't give explanations.
There's a little bit of reality. There's a little bit of. All right, look. There's a little bit of truth in everything.
Even on a statement, I gotta help you out with the trolling thing. If you're going to troll, you gotta go. You can't explain yourself.
I gotta stay committed. All right. My bad.
Cop out.
Your tribe will find you. Yes, your tribe will find you. All right, here's the crazy part. All right, let me, because I'm gonna build off of this, Miss Harlem, is that first of all, you got to know what tribe you want to be a part of. Because a lot of times tribes are finding you. People are coming to you and befriending you all of the time. And then you either choose to engage those people, or you choose to let them go by. So as you, and I'm only saying this as to everybody, when you are out here finding your tribe, know what tribe you want to be a part of. Are you a cannibal? Are you a warrior tribe? Are you a farming tribe? Like, what kind of person are you, and what kind of people do you want to have around you? You know what I'm saying? So, but shout out to you, man. Like, I appreciate everybody. But at the end of the day, there is a strong part of me that is like, yo, I get up and when I see my niggas post, I like and I comment. I don't give a fuck. This ain't about
if you see it though.
No part about it.
That's once you see it though. Let's just make that known.
All right, yeah, right. When I see it, I like and I comment and I show my people's love, because it's important. It does make a difference, because that's how the algorithm gets triggered. When you've got X amount of hearts and X amount of comments, it triggers the algorithm to start showing it to more people. That's how your shit takes the fuck off. So it is a part of business, and it is less about an emotional things in certain situations. Now, me not being friends with certain people has more to do with off social media things than on social media things. But don't think I'm not paying attention. Do I give a fuck? No, but I'm paying attention to what's going on around me and everybody that's around me. Why? Because it is very important that I cultivate a circle that is hyper supportive of each other, me being helpful to them and them being helpful to me. So, and I feel like we should all be that way. Mr. Success, God damn, your name is long. Speak Your Success
It's just,
Media.
I think it's just Jonathan Jones. Just
Yeah, he
Jonathan
needs to
Jones. Mr.
Speak
Jones.
Your Success Media out of here.
The
And get
question is, how often are you posting? Because if you rarely posting, then ain't nobody gonna see it, B.
that's a fact.
I like the
I
B at the
post
end because ain't nobody gonna see it, B.
like it be.
All right,
He's new.
let's move on, man. Let's keep it going, man.
Maybe
We
he's
got
the new New York Undercover. I don't know. Shout out to him.
where do we go from here? Do we go Gil?
Do you want to go more inspirational or you want to go ignorant? That's because I
I feel like we've been given inspiration. Let's have some fun, man. I feel like
have some
we
fun.
gotta get. This is what I'm saying. This is a part of the job that people don't understand, right?
All right, got you.
Not on like so. I love inspiration. We can give inspiration, but we can mix it up, and then we can go. And I'm giving game here before we get ignorant. Sometimes you gotta mix medicine and the candy, and what I mean by that is right. Like me, I would love to get up here and talk inspirational all day, but I don't got the platform just yet. So now we might can do 50-50 ignorant shit, 50 inspiration, right? But then next time you come on, do 60 inspiration, 40 ignorant, and then you just wane off until you got your audience that you want. This is a part of playing the game.
I feel like you being not you right now. You like ignorant shit for the funniness, not because you genuinely into it, but you laugh like we laugh. Come on, bro.
But no, I like it. No, to be honest, keep it 100. I do the ignorant shit because it. Bro, people want to hear that. People don't care about.
You want to hear it.
I don't.
You like to laugh. Stop
bro,
it.
I could care less, bro. We talk all the time. You know, I can care less about all this shit that's going on. You know that. I'm literally doing this because of the space I'm in. We talk. Come on, don't try to get up here in front now.
No, bro.
We talk about this all the time.
This. When we was doing our other pod,
yeah, how much of everything? I think you missed what I'm saying. Let me rephrase that. Not ignorant shit. Mm-hmm. How much of our podcast did we talk about trending topics? I'll wait.
Not much. Not much.
Exactly. What are you talking about? That's what I'm talking about.
I'm talking about spicy shit. Like we might have dissected the popular topic and went to the real issue and just talked about the real issue.
How many times did we talk about trending topics?
A few times.
Not that much though.
Not that much.
My point exactly what I'm saying is I don't care about that stuff. But given the space I am, I make a what is it? What's the word, y'all? Help me out. I make a cognitive decision to do that because I know that's what's going to sell. If you aren't willing to do that and you don't get the result that you want, shut the fuck up. With all due respect. And not you personally. I'm just saying in general, people.
But you trying to say we can't go viral just saying positive shit?
You probably can. I'm not saying we can't. I'm not gonna be that guy. I'm not gonna be that guy.
You issuing me a challenge. Like I think we can go viral saying purely some positive shit, even if it's just not my ashy knuckles that you seeing right now. Yeah, like bro, I feel like we can just. All right, let's not do that. Just because I threw it up in the air don't mean you need to turn this into a Michael Jordan moment.
I was wondering that from the first minute we hopped on live, but whatever. Yo. Let's get in what we got. We had some other things we was talking about. What we talking about?
What is that? Gilbert? Is that Gilbert Arenas?
Yeah.
Wanting to
let's go to the other thing. Since no, we can go to Gil. Let's go to Gil. Why not? Go to Gil.
Yeah, let's go to that one first.
I sent you some stuff. Did you get everything? Did you get the first part?
All right, first part is the one with Saucy Santana head at the bottom. Pause.
Hey, yo.
The one on the left.
I don't think
it threw me off.
It did. I know it's gonna throw you off. That's why I said.
I've never seen somebody with nails and the beard. That was the problem. It just threw me. It threw me off. And then
this nigga Gil is crazy.
And then when I hit the video, twerk.
Did you like it?
So let's show him what he talking about, y'all. Let's show him.
We're gonna make this real quick for you since motherfuckers act like that.
That's his response. Yeah, that's his response. Hold up.
I sent you
you sent me the video.
It should be like a slide.
All right. Yo, play the rest of the clip so that play the rest of the
beginning. Play the beginning first.
I think that was the beginning.
Nah, it's I sent you a video where the response and then you can slide over. It's like a slide.
You sent me a video. All right. Oh, you talking about the one that's got like 8 different slides?
Yeah, the carousel. Yeah.
All right.
So you just slide it over.
I already got these. I gotta upload these. Give me 2 seconds. Let me upload it to my joint real quick.
Take your time on yo. Listen, if you're in the comments on Instagram, make sure you come to YouTube right now, Mr. J Hill Network. Yo, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you hop on the Patreon. I got 3 different tiers, 3, 5, and 10. If you want to just check it out, make sure you sign up for the $3 tier. What's our goal for the day? Jay?
Yeah, let's do 5, baby. Let's get them past 20. Can we get them past 20 today?
You get me at 20 subscribers on Patreon. Listen, it's patreon.com/J Hill Podcast. I'm gonna put it in the comments right now. Patreon.com/J Hill Podcast.
Yeah, Miss Harlem. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Jonathan Jones. Come on, man. Support. Yo, we could really use your support today. Like,
no, I could really use this. Like, really. Like,
you got some bills to pay. Support.
Yeah, like you might pay a light bill or something.
in real life, like ain't nobody bullshitting you today. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh yeah, and another thing I just added with the $10 tier, I've been giving people like free game. Like somebody had asked me about how to edit something, so like I'm doing one-on-one Zoom calls and stuff like that. So, and that's crazy for like $10. Like that's like a 2. I should not even do this, but I'm trying to get the patrons. I'm trying to get the community. So if you're trying to start a podcast, whatever, make sure you join the Patreon, patreon.com/J Hill Podcast. So yeah, that's that. You got it up?
All right, I got a bunch of, I don't know which one is which.
Going on. I don't know what the fuck was funny when you talking to motherfucking.
Did you add it?
Oh, not yet. Hold on. I mean, I might have to get rid of these 3 and then throw it up. Hold on, because it only let me upload 3 at a time. So let me get rid of these and settings, video, boom, and boom. Let me upload. I think it's only gonna it's only letting me do 1 at a time. So
the saucy Santana.
There you go. Let it rock.
Oh, that's your dog. Hell no, come on, man. No, not this. This.
Yes, that. Yeah. The rapper.
That ain't no rapper. Stop it. No, Nick, come on, dog.
Why my man Nick Young sound like Blueface?
That was your. Is that why you got the Tic Tacs now? That was your rule. Oh, come on, dog.
Becky turn the bitch up.
Oh, come on. This the one. Oh my God. Come on. This was your. Nick, I know you paid. I know you, Nick. I know you paid for that. You paid.
I love.
Yo, wait, hold on.
Nah, he cool as shit. I ain't gonna lie. He cool as shit. He funny. You'd have had a good time.
No, don't throw that out there. Nah, don't throw that out. Nah, don't throw that out.
Yo, what's going on?
Hey, behind the scenes. It would have been like Meek Mill.
Right?
I need to go to Guyana. Hey, I need to. Hey, they calling him gay. He's like, yeah, police reform.
Yo, first of all, before we get into the response, yo, I feel like people been dragging it. Like, what at first, before he responded, everybody was like, I hate a heterosexual hating on like a gay person. Why do you care so much? He must be undercover. Bro, y'all niggas be like, people be retarded. I'm sorry, bro. Do y'all understand that accepting the LGBTQ community is a new thing, just like mental health, just like gaslighting, just like all of the other self-help things that we do that we know now. Not saying that it's a new thing. I'm saying like us engaging in these things is new to us. It's new to us. We didn't know nothing about we didn't know or care anything about our mental health 20 years ago. We didn't know or care nothing about when somebody gaslights you or when somebody's being condescending. We ain't know or care about those things 15, 20 years ago. Same thing with the LGBTQ community. Before the internet, people would call you gay, especially in the environments that we came from, right? So these things are relatively new. Not saying it's okay or not okay. All I'm saying is we got to stop this calling a nigga down low because he don't accept or he don't have the same preference as you or because it's not normal for him. Because growing up, That's just what it was. We used to call niggas gay. We used to make fun of the gay dudes. We used, like, it used to be a lot of messed up things going on. That doesn't make it okay. But when somebody reacts in that manner, you can't just be like, he's down low. Like, come on, like, no, he's just ignorant. It's ignorant. It's not down low. If anything, it's ignorant. Let's just call it for what it is.
All right, my question is, people really got an emotion towards this? Like, he ain't saying nothing disrespectful to that dude. All right. So tell me, what are crazy? In what way? What did he do?
Bro, people were saying that, like, I guess anytime you don't accept what's acceptable nowadays is a problem. So,
how did he accept him? He was respectful of him. He didn't call him out his name. Like,
bro, he said this, bro. He said this. He was making fun of him.
I can't say this. Yo, this is some shit.
Jay, come on. If somebody look at your picture and they be like, if somebody look at your picture like this,
nigga, if I'm twerking, yes, you refer to it as this.
All, I hope we never see a video of you on Instagram twerking. That was disgusting, crazy. All I'm saying is, if somebody if somebody went to my wife and be like, "Yo, this the person that you married?" Oh, come on, bro. Don't act like you don't see the issue with it.
I mean, you ain't had a nice haircut in about 10 years, nigga. I'm just playing with you.
Shit.
But no, I mean, okay, so it could be a little off color, but I don't necessarily feel like, yeah, all right, okay. Let me preface this conversation with
you got a response? Did you get a response?
Oh yeah, I gotta pull up his response.
Upload the response. But like I was saying, I just seen a lot of people in the comments saying that it be the down low people that got so much to say about gay men. No, bro. It be the people, like, when niggas come from the hood and in the inner cities, bro, being gay was never okay. We used to make fun of it. Again, we are just now. Shout out to Dwayne Wade, and even some people will question Dwayne Wade, but we're just now saying, huh?
He gay, bro. Stop.
Hey, I don't care. Hey, all I'm saying is we're just now seeing straight men come out and say, if my son was gay, I would support him. You would never hear that 15 years ago.
That's nothing. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, we're just starting to understanding and accept the LGBTQ community, right? So when you see somebody making fun of it, why is your first thought process this man is undercover? No, the first thought process should be just the reality of it, and it's ignorant. What he did, what he said was ignorant. It was childish. If anything, that man not undercover, but whatever.
Right. Wait a minute. Is Gilbert how old is Gilbert Arenas? Or how do you pronounce his name?
I'm gonna Google it. Let's see. How old?
Because, and while he's looking it up, I would like to say this. I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. What he was doing is PC to me. Okay. The way we used to refer to gay people were way more offensive. Right. And there used to be a disdain and a disgust for anybody of that lifestyle.
Like, don't even be around me type thing.
Yeah, don't be around me. It would be F this and yo, da. And like, we wouldn't be. The thing is, like, the young lady, Miss Harlem, talking about, yo, it's the laughing part. You lucky he's not like, if I ever see you, I'm a bop. You know what I'm saying? Like, our that used to be our reaction. Yo, go ahead.
He's 42.
Right.
This is back in the day, though. This is back in the day. Don't judge my moms for this.
Right.
Boy, a lot of these issues come from the generation after us, and my mom's is after Jay. This was not acceptable. You know what my mom's told me when I was growing up? Real talk. She said, you can do whatever you want, but if you come in my house and you like men, I'ma love you, but you can't live here. My mom's told me that. Yes. My mom told me straight up, if you come in here with your hand bent and all that gay shit, you can't live with me. I will love you, but you can't live under my roof. I will not take care of you, bro. So we're talking about, like, no, bro. My argument is this man ain't undercover. I don't know. I don't think this man is undercover. No, it's really just, bro, this is what we was taught coming up. And we're just now starting to see the acceptance of the LGBTQ community. It's that simple.
I think he was just having fun, bro. And if he had referenced Saucy out of his name, I would be on your side. If he had been like, yo, this is disgusting, he's a disgusting person, I'd be on your side. Only thing he's doing is laughing, and they just having light jokes. That's what you do with your mans. Yo, that's what you like now. And, all right, you can take Saucy out and put a fat girl in there. You can take the fat girl out and put, a midget in there. Oh, that's what you want. Oh, you wow, damn.
I think that's the problem. Not even the problem, but that's where we go wrong in these podcasts, though. It's not. It's what we love, but they say the same reason they love you be the same reason they hate you. Same thing that make you laugh, the same thing make you cry. So we love hearing these vulnerable moments from our celebrities, from the people we care about. We love seeing somebody be so transparent, but when they're too transparent, it's too much, right? Think about it. These are the conversations that we would have when there wasn't no internet. These are the conversations that we would have in a barbershop, in the locker room. These are the conversations, but now we bring them to camera. Now it's distasteful. Now I don't like that. But you have the same conversation when a woman is saying, I remember when somebody did da-da-da, or when somebody is saying somebody hurt me, or whatever the case may be. They're being vulnerable. They're being transparent. Some people would say that's not the same, but I just feel like transparency is transparency.
I feel like a lot of people take the fact that there's a camera on and a statement is made is that there's an agenda being put forth. And it's like, no, bro, there are a lot of people that just turn the camera on and live their life in front of the camera. Like they're not trying to say anything negative. They just having fun. They just living their life. And once again, to any person that's watching, I said it was off color. And then the reason why I'm using the term off color, it means that, it wasn't the coolest way to go about it, but it wasn't offensive. It wasn't meant to be offensive. And Gilbert Arenas has probably no issues with the LGBT community. But go ahead.
So do we want to go through this whole thing from A to Z, or?
I want to hear Saucy Santana's his response. I really do. I really want to hear his response, because at first I seen him on Twitter and he was saying,
we're gonna make this real quick for you since my
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying I saw him on Twitter and he was saying that he would fuck Gilbert Arenas or whatever, and I laughed at that. So all right, let me watch this response.
So Gilby, we're gonna make this real quick for you since motherfuckers act like they don't know what the fuck going on. I don't know what the fuck was funny when you talking to motherfucking Nick. You laughing, oh ha ha, he your homeboy, he not a rapper. Bitch, I am a motherfucking rapper. That's how I make most of my motherfucking money, bitch. You better check in with your niece, your nephew, your grandma, your mama, bitch, your daughters. I don't know what the fuck you got. I don't know who the fuck you is. Bitch, tap the fuck in. Bitch, you can find a whole lot about Saucy Santana. Bitch, second of motherfucking all, I know you.
Wait, pause that. I'm sorry.
You gotta check him, bro. You gotta understand.
No.
I make my money. Tell your grandma.
You know what that sounded like when I heard that?
What?
When you was like, niggas ain't liking my posts on Instagram, they ain't supporting me. Like a nigga supposed to know. Nigga said, yeah, I'm a rapper. Like I supposed to know you a rapper, bro. Like niggas be thinking that'd be our problem, bro. We think we bigger than who we are.
You don't understand. Right now, J Hill, you should have asked your mama. You should have known that I was posting on Instagram. That's what I'm saying. Ask your girl, ask your day, ask your baby. Your baby be liking my posts on Instagram, man. She be on that joint liking them. You need to ask somebody and understand when I'm around that it's going down. Pause.
That's for the plan.
You about to go jack your motherfucking dick to that twerk video because you put it up too many motherfucking times on the motherfucking camera for you to be so hee motherfucking ha. Bitch, you keep washing this ass, and I know it's like motherfucking water. You'll enjoy that later. And motherfucking
hey,
Nick,
yo,
stop motherfucking playing with me, bitch. All that motherfucking giggling, get in the motherfucking field. About me.
Hey, yo, what's up with these guys?
Yo,
what's up with this? Bro,
is that what you're doing?
Yeah, that was, well, I mean, bro, that's
crazy. He in the field.
Bro, that's crazy, bro.
I'll see in the field.
Say, Chummy, say, hey, I'm co-hosting again. Yo, this is, man. Oh, I can't. You showing your skin? Nah, we can't do that. But yeah, man. Bro, I feel like, yo, just because a nigga got something funny to say, bro, don't mean a nigga want to participate in them gay festivities, bro. Like niggas don't know no better, bro. Coming up, it wasn't cool for us. I can't speak for everybody. When I'm from coming up, bro, like you said. Bro, we wasn't cool with gay people. We couldn't even, like, none of that was cool. And if you was cool, you got made fun of with, like, it just, so, like I said, it was distasteful a little bit because we grown now, because we older, he's 42, we know better now. But I'm just saying, like, don't call a man down low because he making fun of a gay guy when this is something that's relatively new. Shit, if you want to be real, even in the Bible, like you want to criticize God, because even in the Bible, I think the Old Testament they talk about like being gay is against God. So come on, man. Like
that is a big fight. You
I ain't
said
trying to
take
get
on
canceled
God.
though, man.
Woo.
I'm just saying,
you know what I mean? No, I feel like that. I feel like Saucy Santana's response is par for the course for the hood community. Like that's what it is. Like, you know, once again, if you haven't mastered controlling your emotions, you know, you see a clip going out and you in your feelings, and now you need to respond because you feel like you've been embarrassed. You feel like they were belittling you. They weren't belittling you. They were just having some fun.
No, we can't, bro. He was making fun of him, bro. It's okay. We gotta call a spade a spade. He was making fun of him. He was
using his gayness to make fun of the other dude. What are you talking about? You were just a tool.
Yeah. But that's not. I mean, imagine if somebody used you, bro. You cool with this fat nigga? That's I thought I knew better than that. You're not gonna feel. All I'm saying is I understand both sides. I understand why Saucy would be upset.
No, I get it. Once again, that's what I said. It's par for the course from a person in that space. You know what I mean? But and to answer your question, when you start really coming into your own and start recognizing, when you accept who you are, you rolling with this fat nigga. Yes, I'm the fat nigga because that's who I am. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm on the camera. I'm taking up this whole space. Look, there's space between the right and the left of Jay Hill. I can see part of his couch behind him because he ain't big.
The crazy thing about it is when Gil get the trolling, get to saying, man, I ain't know. I want to know how much ones I'm gonna throw at him type shit. Nigga say, you get to say I had a crush on you since now they both trolling. It's crazy.
They was going off and on Twitter, yo, and I thought it was extra. But hey, man, I honestly I enjoyed this back and forth more than some violence. Like when Saucy was at the end talking about see me in the streets, I'm like, all right, Saucy, come on now, come on. We don't need to take it to the street stuff. I don't need you to shoot him in the face and then, you know, bend them over or nothing like. So let's just keep it cool.
Hey, yo, what type time?
The jokes. My bad, bro.
What we got next, bro? What's going on, man?
All right. Pull up the one all the way to the left. This is a clip about
that the third act falls apart. The protagonist has to go through the street.
Hey, I told you, man. We had a bunch of motivational. I'm messing with you. Come on, let's see. What we talking about? Let's see. I'm gonna rewind it.
So, this is a video about you talking to your younger self, and this is like an artistic piece, but I want to have a conversation after it's done.
All right, this is a good video too. I'm gonna play it.
If I cut that, the third act falls apart. The protagonist has to go through this journey. That's the whole point of the film. Okay. Yeah, I'll note it. See what I can do. Great talk.
I want to pause that real quick. I don't know if any of you other people works in the creative space, but a lot of y'all that don't work in the creative spaces, you will create. So if you are working with a company that's financing you and you have something that you know works and that you love, but then you have to go and present this to somebody that is paying you for it, and then they don't like something that you think is pivotal, and now you're having to make changes. That to me, that voice that he just came off with, yeah, I'll change it. Yeah. Okay.
100%. Like it's like you frustrated, but it's like, you know what? I ain't gonna go there. I need my job. I'm gonna get it done. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. So like that's why this whole clip. But I'm gonna wait to the whole thing.
Right.
I'm gonna let you play the whole thing.
Wow.
Wait, then I'll go next. I'm gonna let you go first.
All right. So the most important thing I took away from it is the realization that if I could speak to my younger self, would I tell my younger self everything I've been through to become what I am now? And an older version of myself was like, yo, I'm going to tell my younger self every nigga that crossed me, every trial and tribulation because we can avoid all of this. But then I go, is that really helpful? Because if he avoids all of these things help create the person I am. It helped create the perspective that I have. It helps develop the patience. It helps develop the temperament. which are probably the most important things that I need to be the person I am today. So for him to say, yo, we made it. And even though the future self probably doesn't see himself as being saying like made it in reality, he knows that he's looking at the younger version of himself and he's recognizing that, yes, what you thought success was, we've made that. But I can't tell you. I don't want to tell you what I've gone through because I don't want to discourage you. I don't want to tell you how evil it is out here. I don't need you to want to walk away from this because I don't want you to take some of my disappointment as a part of your load in this journey, because that might turn you away, and then I have to remember that there's a part of myself that I killed so that the future version of myself could live. And even though I admire that part of myself, it's not helpful to me in the place that I am. So it's such a complex piece, but those are the things that I took away from that video. And that's one of the reasons why I was so quick to send it to you. And I was like, yo, you got to watch this shit. Like, it's so powerful. But I am more excited to hear your perspective on this. Seriously. And I think
I'm here. Alani want to talk in the mic too. So I'm trying to balance the both of us. Cause I think she want to be a podcast host too. But watching the clip, yo, the crazy thing about it is, first of all, I want to start in the beginning. First of all, this guy did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. You said he did a great job too? So yeah, so first of all, come here. First of all, the guy did a great job at acting, right? Mm-hmm. Second of all, it's crazy because if we just look at it's like everything we do, everything we are is the person that we ask to be, but we still somehow have complaints about it, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what I got from the clip. I'm looking at it like, man, how dare you be frustrated at the moment you ask for? Because I feel that I felt that way in many times. It's like sometimes I might get a gig and they ask me to do an extra edit, or I might get an interview and I really don't feel like doing an interview, right? Or the guest, perfect example, I'm doing an interview and the guest asked me to take something out. And sometimes I got to tell myself that the younger J Hill would have did anything to be in this position. If you told the younger J Hill that, yo, you can interview T.I., but you're going to have to take something out, younger J Hill will be like, I don't care. I'll take whatever he want out, right? Younger J Hill would say that. So watching this video is like, yeah, I understand your frustration, but it's like, man, the younger you is like, bro, wait, this is what you upset about? Come on, man, this is a dream, right? Mm-hmm. And then as another part of it, like, you not wanting to, I seen somebody say like not wanting to tell the younger you that it might not be okay at things like that. I didn't really get that part, because to me it's like, the older you know that it really is going to be okay, even if you don't want to go through what you're going through. The older you have been through things where you learned that, yeah, it's going to be okay. And sometimes you need that younger version of you to remind you that, yo, you asked for this, right? And that's why for me it was like a tearjerker, because it's like, man, sometimes you need that younger you to humble yourself. Sometimes you need that younger you to be like, bro, like, how dare you complain about this? How dare you have an issue with the very thing that you wish for? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can.
That's a fact. That's a fact. As he carries his new baby in his arms and the baby is crushing his ear. That's funny. This is everything you asked for. Now let her crush your ear. All right. So Mother Mai says, right, I will probably tell myself that there will be good days and bad days, but we'll get through it. Maybe a way that you could cope through it, and I learned later on in life. Yes, ma'am. The only thing I would recommend, my dear, if you were to ever talk to your younger self, I don't necessarily feel like sometimes we all get into the talk to the younger self thing just because you want to help your younger self avoid these things. And that is the paradox of time. Yo, the person, everything that you went through helped you create the person you are today. Who's to say that this thing that you think is small might be a pivotal moment to somebody else?
For example,
I'll give you a perfect example. There was a choice that I made to completely go a different route in my life. I went one day saying I'm a rapper to the next day I want to be a radio personality. By me saying that, birth everything that we kind of see in front of us. Like, you know what I mean? I wouldn't have been able to help Jay Hill or be there to help Raven or be there to help Radio on Fire become what it is. Or 1500 radio would not exist. Radio on Fire would not exist. You know what I mean? Or it might have existed in a different form. Like now by me making one decision, there's so many other decisions that come out of it. But I could have been like telling my younger self, yo, this is how you avoid the pitfalls in the music industry so that now you can become this musician, this one goal you had. You know, the one thing you might, I don't regret it, but if there was a regret there. So like, yo, these small decisions to go, I'm just going to go right instead of going left. How many lives are affected? But go ahead.
Let me put it in a broader aspect of for people that might that know who might not know us, right? Is a show that was really popular called That's So Raven, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this reminds me of life. Raven had the ability to see in the future, but that was the downfall of every decision she made when she tried to change the future, right? So she was able to see the future. So what she would do is she would try to make alterations or changes within the present to change the future. And guess what? That was the very thing that created the future to happen, right? So it's like you are only going to create something that's going to like what's bound to happen is bound to happen. It's the inevitable, right?
Mm-hmm.
And alongside something else, a different conversation about that is sometimes the things that you're going through and the things that you might regret, like my biggest regret is just being honest, was like being fired from DTLR. I feel like everybody know that. I love that job. That was my dream job. And also getting kicked out of Morgan State. That was my dream school. That was the two things that I wish I could take back. However, being in those positions helped me to not be in that same position later on down the line, right? A lot of times things are just preparation. What Drake said when he was talking about the relationship, he was like, man, them girls were just practice for you. That's the same thing with our life, right? It's just practice for a bigger situation. So now when I get a better job, a bigger position, I know what not to do to lose that. That was just preparation for the bigger moment. The same with my content creators, right? When you out and you might forget the audio, you might forget to have your camera in focus. That ain't nothing compared to the bigger moment that's going to be presented. And I don't mean to keep bringing it back to God, but it just is what it is. You go to Romans 8:18 is my favorite verse for a reason, right? He said, I consider your present times will not even be worth considering the glory that will be revealed in you. Basically saying what you're going through now can't even be compared to the glory that will be revealed in you. All of the hardships that you're going through, all of the hard times, all of the bad moments that's going through right now, it can't even be compared to the glory that will be revealed in you. That means when you do get that Grammy, that means when you do get that award that you really wanted, when you are able to get that big check, when you are able to, cross and become a member of that fraternity or sorority that you want to be, when you get the numbers, it can't even be compared to the hard times it took to get there. When I do 1 million views, it's like, damn, man, that felt great. It's like rejuvenating you. Now you feel like you will do it all over again. But who are you in the moment of adversity? Again, I'm not trying to be this motivational guy, but who are you in the moment of adversity when things aren't going your way? Are you unappreciative? Are you ungrateful? Because at that moment, you're disrespecting yourself. That's how I look at it. That's how I look at it when I seen a young dude come. He's like, bro, who are you in the moment of adversity, bro? We done been here before. You gonna continue to complain? You gonna continue to bitch and holler? Nah, bro. I mean, like, you know what? Thank you, God. I appreciate this because I need this moment to get through it so I can see what's on the other side of the hill. But
I mean, also adversity is an institution of learning. And when you stop looking at things as tragedy and you look at everything as an opportunity to learn, it stops having the same effect. If you stop looking at everything as a tragedy and look at everything as God bringing change, God bringing blessings, God bringing lessons, then in the moment of adversity, you start looking at, what have I not learned? What do I need to learn? Who should I be touching? How can I be more of service? How can, you know what I mean? And how can I find this solution? How can we all work together to find your solution? It goes from tragedy to calmness, and then calmness solutions come. But go ahead.
And I was going to say, let's not forget, bro, patreon.com/J Hill podcast. We're trying to get 5 patrons. We're just trying to get 5, bro. Listen, my tiers.
Can we get a joint? John, what's up, baby? Did you sign up? What's going on?
My tiers are literally cheap as hell. 3, 5, and 10. You know what I'm saying? 3, 5, and 10. You could do the $3 one. Listen, 5 patrons. If you like the conversation, I got more unreleased things coming out. I just posted something today on Patreon. We got the chat and Patreon. We could also have conversations outside of here on Patreon in our personal chat. You could contribute to the show if you want to talk, even be on the show. Listen, the opportunity is out the window. Somebody just texted me. I don't know who it was. They was like, yo, I need some mentorship on the podcast before you raise your prices. Patreon. Join the $10 Patreon. I can help you with your podcast, all that, man. 5. We're trying to get 5 patrons. Patreon.com/J Hill podcast. What else?
And I'm signed up right now, baby. I'm signed up. So like, don't act like we sacrificing, baby. We all investing. Let's go. You know, invest in what you love. If you love seeing this positive content, you love seeing the support, you love seeing, I tell everybody, you can see change, bro. If you want to see more content like this, put your money where your mouth is. That way we can avoid doing all of the gossipy stuff. You know what I mean? All right. I got it pulled up right now. I'm about to join. Let's go, baby.
I got appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you.
Lead actor of the new New York Undercover is going to join the Patreon. Ain't that some shit, boy? We got celebrity.
Funny as hell.
Shout out to that nigga, man. I love you, man. All right. You can randomly pick any one of these clips and we gonna go in. Let's go. Let's roll the dice.
I've somehow found these other 4 lunatics. 3 of us were college dropouts. 1 was a high school dropout, and 1, I don't know, he just quit his job. We all were super small YouTubers, and we basically talked every day for 1,000 days in a row and did nothing but just hyper study what makes a good video, what makes a good thumbnail, what's good pacing, how to go viral. We would just get on Skype every morning, and some days I'd get on Skype at 7 a.m. and I'd be in the call until 10 p.m. and then I'd go to bed. I'd wake up and I'd do it again. We'd do things like take 1,000 thumbnails and see if there's a correlation to the brightness of the thumbnail to how many views it got.
Imagine a world where it's just you working solo and you work 12 hours a day every day for a year. And you're just grinding, you make a mistake, you learn from it, you grind, you make a mistake, you learn from it, and you do that for a year. And then imagine a different world where you have 4 friends who are also equally grinding in something similar. Friend number 1 makes a mistake on Friday, he teaches the other 4 people. Friend number 2 makes a mistake the next week, teaches everyone. And then you're all learning from each other's mistakes. You're all constantly studying 24/7 and downloading each other. After a year, you're 2 years ahead of the guy who was just solo.
All right. I would like to open this conversation by saying this. Notice how he didn't speak about anything emotional. He wasn't talking about what other people were doing and niggas is hating on me and da. Notice how this young man, who's only 23 years old, let's all let that sink in. This man is worth $500 million right now, has over 200 million subscribers on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And is 23 years old. And why is he in this space? Is because he dedicated every waking hour of his life positively obsessing over every nuance of how to get to the goal that he had. His goal was, I want to make the best YouTube videos ever. He didn't say, I want to make $1 million, or I want people to respect me, or I want to be the biggest. No, he said, I want to make the best YouTube videos ever. I found 4 other people. Once again, he didn't go into a hole by himself and I don't want to talk to nobody. I'm going to learn it all on my own. No, he got with other like-minded people and they worked together 10 to 12 hours a day, 7 days a week for 3-4 years straight to figure out how it could be done. Once again, they've gone about business scientifically, not emotionally. That was the number one reason why I brought this clip to this show. Jay Hill's results are clearly established through work ethic and through research. You understand what I'm saying? Work ethic, research, and then also utilizing his friendship circle of creatives to bounce ideas. Jay Hill will call me, then he gonna call this person, then he gonna call that person. Yo, what you think about this? Yo, what you think about that? Boom, boom, boom. Now, the only thing he's not doing is bringing everybody together, which I mean, and that's not even a point. But as you, the viewer, are sitting here watching us while you're working or doing whatever, the most important thing is that when Jay Hill's saying, yo, we can talk, join the Patreon for this, and I'll give you advice, he's giving you access to his knowledge base. He's already gained success. He's already understood how to make certain things happen. So having the ability to go back and forth to say, yo, this is what I'm thinking, and being open to understanding that you might be wrong. Yo, I got this idea, Jay. I want to be, da-da-da-da. He might be like, nah, bro, how about try it this way? You have to be open to try new things. But go ahead.
Yo, I forgot. I think his name is Marcus Rosier. I was doing a podcast with David Shands on his podcast, and I think he says something along the lines of, I think we were talking about understanding the value in something, right? But a lot of times people think that this is a forever thing, and that's where they go wrong, right? And what his point was like, oh, I'll wait until I get the money, or I'll wait until I can, when this might not be a forever thing. And I hate, I don't know, something about me, but I hate me being the example, because like I'm not trying to sell you. You know what I'm saying? Like I want you to support me, but my goal is to never sell you. But he made a great point. A lot of times we put things to the side and we push it off because we think we always have time. And it's funny because the guy hit me and he was like, yo, before you raise your prices on the before you raise the prices, I need some mentorship. And it's funny because like I was just thinking like, bro, first of all, I'm not essentially coaching people for $10 for long. Like that's not about to be the forever goal. Like I ain't doing that forever, because that's kind of crazy. Not kind of, that is crazy. Like I'm
it's
bugging.
insane.
Yeah, like that's bugging. But again, I hate that I have to be the example. But yeah, that, a lot of times we don't cherish things because we think it's a forever thing when it's really just a momentarily thing, and we don't really see that. But as far as the clip with Mr. Beast, I think a lot of times we take out, Instagram did this. I always say Instagram because IG is not just Instagram, it's instant gratification. A lot of people, they measure their process or where they are in their process to or their journey to someone right now with their success. When it takes time, like me, I always talk to you about this. I look at Nori, but I understand, at least I understand this. My goal, I want to be able to have a conversation how Nori have a conversation. However, I know I'm not where Nori is at, and I know I haven't done what Nori has done in his career. So it's hard for me to have a conversation with an artist the way he can, because they trust him, and some of it is fan part of it. You get what I'm saying? Like it's a different dynamic. I understand I'm not there. That's my goal. I say that to say I have to put myself in a position to get there though. And I think what Instagram does and social media in general is people can see the people I'm talking to. People can see the views that I might get, and they like, I want that, I want that, I want that, but they ain't willing to put the work in. And a lot of times you get to that level of success by simply just wanting to be the best. And that's what I got from Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast was like, man, I set out to be the best. I see other people, and that's cool, but let me learn thumbnails. Let me learn hooks. Let me learn how I can pour you into my video. Let me learn an idea. And it's a conversation that we had. I'm like, man, forget the numbers, forget the guests. How do I give people good content? Right? That's the most important part. That's the only way you're going to be the best, if you care about the work that you're putting in. Everything else we're going to see. If you're doing it for the numbers, we're going to see. Yeah, you might have some success. They say what you focus on is what you get. Okay. You might have some success, but how long are you going to be in the game? Drake once said, we're going to see who's here 10 years from now. And we see. That's how I'm looking at it. We're going to see who's here 10 years from now. So when you're doing it for everything else other than being great or because you love it, we're going to see. And it's going to it's going to show in your content.
The greatest artists of any time period are the hardest working, obsessive compulsive people that you will ever meet. These people ain't spending months on an island. They probably barely spend. I'm gonna tell you something. I've heard Drake say this. He was like, bro, once I'm 3-4 days on an island, I'm itching to do something. I can't. Every successful person I know, they just can't sit still. They don't. I got it. I'm that way. I can't. I just can't not do something. You know what I'm saying? I cannot just watch TV all day. I just can't. I love podding. I love doing this. I even starting to learn to love the cameras and the lighting and all of that. And that's because
that's what happens though. It's funny because I used to love, I love podcasting, right? But what happened is you are able to, now you learning other things, right? I love podcasting. Now I love the production behind it. Right now I love making something look good, creating an idea and bringing it to life. That came from podcasting. Now that comes now create my own network. Then what? Create my own production company. All of these things because I was in love with one thing. But I mean, I think that's just a testament of Mr. Beast and his work ethic. I think we all can learn something from that guy.
Man, and I tell people all the time, man, I'm not just trying to key in on say, all right, Mr. Beast is the bar. No, he's just somebody that's willing to give you information. So
well,
it's
why
like,
can't he be the bar? He's the best. He's probably the biggest YouTuber.
Yeah, he's the biggest YouTuber in the world.
I feel like what happened is, bro, not saying you did this, but we as a generation, as a culture, we always want to use this culture word. As an African-American Black culture, I feel like our bar be in hell. Like we want to use somebody that ain't really doing nothing to be our bar. When it's like, bro, that's who you look up to? Oh, no, let me show you. I think you did this for me. And shout out to my guy Giovanni Joe. Like, cause like I watch like a lot of Black podcasts, and nothing against my Black podcasts, but I remember you was like, yo, let me show you Full Sin. I'm like, damn, let me show you Joe Rogan, let me show you David Howard Stern. I'm like, damn, oh shit, I ain't know these people exist. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm like, okay, right. Our standards be too low. And that's with content, that's with our everyday life, that's with ourselves. Right. I'm not trying to be super motivational, but that's just who I am. Our standards is too low for ourselves. That's why we can never level up. That's why we ain't doing shit with ourselves, because our standards is in hell.
Is in hell. Correct. But, you know, and that's beautiful. That we should be willing to look up and not necessarily try to emulate, but let's learn from them and let's apply it to our own thing. Like, I never want Jay Hill to go out and do skits. Like, we not skit niggas. I would be mad if Jay Hill did skits. I'm not a skit nigga. Don't ask me to do no skits. But there's a way we could figure out how to interject our lifestyle into, our content. And I think that is at the core key of everything. If I was to emulate anything that Mr. Beast does, I would love to give away $10,000 to a homeless person, or I would love to take a family off the street and give them a house. But go ahead. I'm sorry, Jay. Go ahead.
Yeah, you just brought up a great point, though. I want you on the skits, and of course, like being original in how you do your work, right?
Right.
But at the same time, and this is something that I had to learn. You can't keep doing the same old shit and expecting a new result. I'm just saying. Sometimes you gotta adopt with the times, right?
Okay.
So if shorter form content is the wave, it might not be a skip, but you might have to get into some shorter form content. If more funny thing is the wave, you might have to get into some more funnier things. What happened is we get so in our own way that we don't want to bend. We don't want to break pause. That's crazy. But like, and us being in our own way, we ain't never going to grow like that. So not saying you got to do skits, but like you said, I would love to give 10,000 away. I would love to, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to go outside of your everyday schedule, your regularly scheduled program, to do something different, to get something different.
All right. So me and you about to do the mini pod, right? So that we're going to do the 2-minute podcast, short form content. You know what I mean? All right. He said, cause that, wait a minute, throw that back up. Oh, he said, cause that's true, bro. I do edits and positive edits and basketball edits and football edits. I switch up for real. Cause shout out to you for doing all that damn editing, bro.
Yeah. Shout out to you. Yo, Patreon guys, Patreon. Shout out to my guy, John Jones. Thank you. He just subscribed to be the highest tier. Appreciate you. Can we get 4 more patrons, bro? 4 more.
Man. Hey, Hassan, bro. Come on, sign up. Like, look, Hassan, if you sign up, and then what was her name? Mother Ma. Yo, if you sign up, and then the other young lady, girl from Harlem, that's 3, and then we only need 1 more. Come on, it's only $3. $3, bro. Ain't nobody saying sign up forever. Just saying, sign up for the month, and if you like it, stay, and if you don't, you know what
Get
I'm
out of
saying?
there.
Get
What else
out
we
of
got
there.
next, Jay? What
All
we got
right,
next?
come on now, pick one. I got 2 up there, and I'm gonna upload one more, and then that'll be the end of the show.
Toyota is a nicer car than an entry-level BMW. The high-end Toyota is filled with things that are good for you. Comfy seats, good sound system, moonroof, whatever it is. The entry-level BMW is purely bragging rights. You're paying for the emblem. That's all you're paying for, to show other people, like, look at me, look how great I am. If you can just dispose of that in your life with the need to impress strangers, I think that is a financial asset on your balance sheet that could literally be worth millions of dollars to you. Just lacking the need to impress strangers.
Mr. Balenciaga.
For me?
Yes, you're the only one on this live stream that owns a pair of Balenciagas. I do not own Balenciagas. So,
Yeah. I mean, a part of that, bro, but I get that.
I get where you coming from, because a
talking
part of the entertainment business's image.
Right. I'm about to say. Also, we can't talk about quality too. Some of these things would be good quality, but that's not really why. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna keep it 100. Some people might buy it because of good quality. Me, not so much sometimes. But I think Zaytoven said this one time. Sometimes you gotta dress the part. He was like, man, he didn't start getting them big features or big bookings until he bought a $10,000 Cuban. You know what I mean? Sometimes, like, people, again, it's playing a game, right? You wonder why people not liking your post. You wonder why people ain't supporting you, because they supporting the niggas that look like they got it, even though they don't have it. Not saying you gotta go far as spending your last or spending your rent money on it, but be smart. You might have to buy a little what they call it, the new diamonds now, a moissanite chain. You know what I'm saying?
Moissanite chain.
You might have to do that to trick people with, because people are, I don't want to say dumb. I'm trying to use a better word. People are predictable, right? So when I make my clips, I play into the roles of people. I know they're predictable. I know what they like, so I'm gonna give them what they like. I'm gonna give them medicine and the candy. So when they come to the interview, it's substance. They're like, oh, it's not even what I thought it was. Same with your image, bro. You wanna look like somebody who somebody want to work with, right? So I'm gonna pull up. They're gonna be like, oh damn. Before you even ask my name, you're like, who is this guy? Right? And if I can't afford the other stuff, it is what it is. But I'm just saying, if I can, you get what I'm saying? I want to pull up playing a part and looking presentable, if that makes sense. I mean, that's it. But I understand what dude's saying, because I'm that guy. I'm probably the most frugal guy you ever seen. I bought all my, like, all of the designer stuff I bought when I had it, times like 10 probably. Like, that's why you see me the same old out of season I don't know, designer shit, because I bought it when I could, and I can't right now, and I'm never about to go poor or broke for some shit. That's one thing I ain't gonna do.
But for those of you at home, if your job isn't celebrity based, you know what I'm saying? I tell people this all the time, man, to get some Jordans just so you could be at the club. I'm like, yo, I tell dudes this all the time. Your ability to talk to a woman has way more effect than you wearing some Jordans. You could come in with some slides, have some dope cologne on, and you can have an inexpensive fly outfit on. Girl surely gonna go home with you, especially if you can spit that game. So you know what I mean? I feel like that's, at the end of the day, the only thing that really, people really care about. Like, yo, can you find a mate? You know what I'm saying? And then outside of that, when it come down to business, yo, I've seen the people come. Every millionaire I know drives a nothing car. Like, all of the Jewish dudes I know, they shoes got holes in them. They be wearing the most basic khakis. There's some low guy, but they be having millions and millions of dollars. So anyway,
hey Jay, we gotta skip these two because it's in the title and we didn't go through it. And this might take some time. We gotta cover Candace Owens Joe Budden interview.
Oh snap! Oh,
yeah, forgot about that.
All right, yeah. Let's go ahead into it. Hold on. Let me give me 30 seconds. I gotta pull up.
No, that's cool. We gotta prepare for this, guys.
Matter of fact, yo, play this one to the left, and then we're gonna get. That's a quick.
Are supposed to make of.
Yeah, I wanted this conversation to be universal. Let's not just always surround. Don't just listen to his words, music. Let's put podcasts in its place. Let's put fashion in its place. Sometimes you can become very skilled and talented at something, but you may not be able to get paid off of that particular thing. But that does not mean an industry can't be built around it. Sometimes you play the music for free so you can sell the t-shirt. Sometimes you sell the music for free. You give the music away for free so that you can sell the lyrics in a book. Sometimes you create the podcast so that you can sell the Patreon with the private conversation, or you want to get the consultation. We need, as business people, as young Black entrepreneurs, we need to become accustomed to thinking dynamically about how we can make money off of our talents. I know somebody next to you could be getting $10,000 per podcast, but that may not be your business model. You may not have the resources and the connections to get there, but that does not mean we can't get $3,000 off t-shirts, $3,000 off a live show, another $4,000 off of this one thing, and now we're back to $10,000 a month. And that doesn't make you less valuable and that person more valuable. It's just a different business model. What my man is saying is the music industry is changing. The world is changing. Labor jobs are about to become a thing of the past. But that does not mean you still can't make money. It might be construction might be phased out, but that doesn't mean that I can't have a YouTube channel talking about the classic way to build, the old school builder's way. That does not mean that there aren't going to be people that are still going to want a house built by hand. Now my work can now become a premium because I become not just a contractor, I become a master craftsman.
Facts.
We need to start understanding the dynamics of how there are a million ways to structure a business and a million ways to make money in and through our skill set, but also around our skill sets.
That just come with thinking outside the box, though.
Yeah.
It come with thinking outside the box. Like even just like you said with the podcast. And I thought at one point in time, I thought it was just a podcast. I'm like, man, I can write a podcast book. I can go produce for high level companies. I know so many things. I can, and a lot of times we're afraid to do more work. I can have a Patreon. It might require me to do more work because I got to give my Patreon. I got to give my patrons something to want to pay for, right? I think it's a lot. Just thinking outside the box, man. I think that was a great point that you made.
The games that people play where
I'm
they
gonna pause this. So this is Candace Owens. She did the interview with Joe Budden on his Patreon, talking about doing more work. I'm assuming because he's put the humans. This is a show. It's called Humans. He's put this on YouTube plenty of times. If I'm not mistaken, this might be his first time putting it on Patreon. I might not be right though, because I don't follow
all of his stuff go to Patreon first, and then eventually he'll drop it on YouTube. So like it's on Patreon for right now, and probably a month or 2 months from now, it'll be on YouTube, or he might wait 2 weeks. It all depends on how he's feeling about it.
Okay, but it's my first time seeing the Patreon launch like this for Humans episode.
Okay.
So yeah, we're gonna play this. This is her talking about Lizzo.
So Candace Owens is a conservative talking head. She has her own podcast. She's done stuff with CNN, Fox News. She's known for being very conservative, very pro-life. She's definitely not down with the LGBT community. She's very vocal about it. In this interview, she speaks very vocally about it. She speaks very, very fondly of Donald Trump in certain manners. So in this clip, she's speaking to how she does not agree, and she's using Lizzo as an example. She doesn't agree with women showing their bodies in inappropriate body parts in public spaces that are supposed to be for all ages. So she's speaking on an event. Lizzo went to a Lakers game, and at the Lakers game, she had a pair of pants on, and her rear end is out. Her butt is out, and then she gets onto the side of the court and starts twerking, and this is what she had to say.
I don't like the.
I thought she said something else about it too, about the number one dying rate is obesity. It was another clip that I saw. But,
yeah, she has made a statement about that. I haven't seen that clip, but I've watched it when I watched the video.
Let's get into it. It is what it is. I think she's right.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
think Candace Owens is right. I think Lizzo, you do that because you know you're going to get a reaction. You do that because that's not the norm. You do that to get a reaction, and then I don't know if she cried out, but the people cry out when the reaction is given. You wouldn't have done, like, even if you're not big, it just is what it is. When people get on the football field and they streak across the field, they're doing it to get a reaction. They're doing it for a response. But now when you get a response, it's an issue. No, bro, like she was right. She ain't say nothing wrong. Bro, you go here, big or not. You got your ass out, you shaking your ass, as kids here, you're doing this to get a response. And then when you get a response, it's like it's an issue. No, bro, you're doing that's whack. That's corny. But I don't understand, maybe because I haven't done too much research on this Candace Owens chick, but I don't understand the issue people have with her, because from what I'm hearing in that clip, it was right. And then Joe, my guy, but you're pandering. Yeah, it is what it is. And I get it for sake of content. I do it sometimes because it's content. I'm not going to just go with you. I'm going to give you an opposite so you can defend it. I know that. But in the clip, you're pandering because, bro, you know, like, I get it. You have some trouble with your metabolism. You getting bigger. What are we talking about? You're not Lizzo, right? And you're not going to the Lakers game and a thong shaking your ass. I will hope not. You're not doing that. And it's wrong. I mean, it just, I don't understand. I don't understand the issue. It's wrong. It is what it is.
All right. Well, you good?
Yeah.
All right. So Candace Owens is a skillful interviewee and interviewer. And let me tell you why. She took two issues and jammed them together. They shouldn't have been together at all. She put inappropriate visuals in a public space, and she took obesity and she jammed them together and she rammed it through. So she got you to agree with, even though you might be agreeing to a part of the obesity discussion, but you may not agree holistically with the whole obesity. And I'll clarify. So her point is, we should not accept fat people. That's her entire belief system, meaning that people like me, she has a problem with. Not just, I just disagree with you being big. She's saying, bro, we need to do something with these people. And I'm like, first of all, I don't like to be referenced as these people when being referred to as something needs to be done about me. Because like now you're gonna herd me up like cattle, and you're gonna kill us if we don't conform to some national weight limit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Once again, that's a complicated discussion to have. But what she's doing is she's taking that and then she's pairing it with something that we all agree with. No woman, no matter how big or small, should be at no woman or man should be at an all ages event exposing their private areas. We all agree on that. But you cannot then take the obesity issue and try to couple it with that and then try to get us to automatically all agree with it. So now she gets to say, see, everybody agrees with me. We don't like fat people. We need to get rid of fat people. Now, the reason why people get upset with this is because this is how propaganda was put together in the days of the rise of the Nazi belief system and then World War II. This has also been a tactic used in attacking other minority groups. It has also been a tactic used. This is a popular tactic in politics. If you are an intelligent and skillful orator, person that can make speeches and talks for a living, it's you take something that everybody likes, you couple it with something that might be that sounds good on the surface, but on a deeper level, if you really do the research, you find out there's some fucked up shit about it. And then you get people to just agree with it so that you get mass acceptance of shitty concepts. You know what I'm saying? So let's just say it like this. Donald Trump says, I want to make America great again. We can all generally agree with that, right? Jay Hill, you want America to be great, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
But do you agree that we should kick out all of the Mexicans?
No.
Do you feel like we should do away with, hey man, black people really don't need to have rights. I mean, let's just make America great again. Like, let's just put the black people back in slavery, because they're probably going to end up rising up against us because they're angry at how they were mistreated. So like, yo, we should just either send them all back to Africa or send them back in slavery. Now the whole concept of make America great again falls apart. And that's go ahead.
So from what I heard about her talking about Lizzo and her size and obesity, right? I think and let me pull this up because I was Googling it and it said I said, what is the leading cause of death for African American? And let me see if we can see this.
All right. Obesity is a chronic health condition that raises the risk for heart disease, the leading cause of death in the United States, and is linked to many other health problems, including type 2 diabetes and cancer. Nearly 3 in 4 adults aged 20 or older in the United States have either either overweight or obese.
So
now, go ahead.
With that being said, right, I do think it's a concern. If it's the leading cause of death in America, right, it's a concern. I too was overweight when I went to the doctor, and what happened is we don't have enough people holding us accountable. And this ain't me like defending her. I'm just talking about the obesity thing. We don't have enough people holding us accountable to do better. Because you know what they told me when I went to the doctor and I said I'm gonna lose weight. You know what my friends told me? They looked at me and said, "What weight?" Every single friend looked at me and said, "What weight?" I was 199, 200 pounds, right? I was 5'9", 200 pounds. And I'm like, I need to lose weight because I wasn't and I never told this story. I wasn't pre-diabetic, but I was on a verge to being pre-diabetic, right? And I looked at him like, damn, I'm overweight, right? And you know what else they say? They say, what weight do I need to lose? And number 2 is they say that's wrong. That's when you're looking at this, they was like the overweight limit for the scale when you go to the doctors. A lot of my peers will be like, that's wrong. They're measuring it by the white person. That's not our body type. Our body type is different from white people. That's how they looking at it. That's what people say. I don't know if you heard about it or not, but that's when you go to the doctor, you get on the scale and they say you overweight or not. They be like, that's wrong. That's not really for us black people.
Wow.
These are things that I'm hearing, right? So imagine if I take what my peers are saying and I don't run and I don't try to lose weight and I don't try to eat healthier, right? Yo, like we said, understanding the value in something, understanding the value in being healthy, because the other side of that is death. The other side of that is not being able to see the dreams that I'm chasing. The other side of that is not being able to see my daughter grow up, right? So I'm not taking up for Trump or Candace Owens, but I'm saying I understand the concern. And a lot of times we don't understand or we don't take in consideration or do anything about something unless we're in outrage, unless we're given extreme measures and extreme examples. Sometimes we learn through extremities, right? And maybe her approach, again, I've never heard this lady talk outside of this for real, so I really don't know. So I'm not trying to defend her. I'm just giving another opinion. Maybe her approach might be the approach that we need to do something about this cause, because this is the leading cause of death.
So, and she went further into the discussion of her disagreement with obese people. One of the things that I like that Joe pushed back on, he said, okay, cool. So we don't like obesity and we want to deal with it. So can we go to the food companies and have them start being more conscious of the food that they're putting out into the world? Oh, I don't want to get into that. You know what I mean? Let's talk about the responsibility of the person. And it's just like, but if the food is horrible, if the scale is in hell and what is allowed to be sold to the public, and we know that it's highly unhealthy, then who's to say that both? I feel like we should have a holistic discussion. I'm a very large dude. You know what I mean? Shout out to Rod Dope. That's my dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm a very large man. People would assume that I sit around and eat all day long. I don't. Most large people that I know, because we know we're large and we're self-conscious, a lot of larger people starve themselves. They don't eat. They may not eat a lot. Now, what I will say is a lot of large people may not eat appropriately. So they might eat a lot of bread or they might consume a lot of cheese. And because we need to be re-educated on what is appropriate for our bodies and our systems. But there's also the reality of there are different systems. So my system is different from J Hill's system, meaning that we both could have the same burger and fries. It's going to affect me differently than it's going to affect Jay. That's just a fact. So there's an education component. there is the system component, meaning that the food system out there is allowed to do whatever the hell it wants. As long as it's not poisoning you outright and killing you, it can do whatever it wants. You know what I mean?
But that's what's happening. These things are killing us, right? Like these things are killing us. So one, I agree with you. Like we should be able to argue about the people, like you said, the scale is in hell, right? I was just talking to my friend, and it's like one of the hardest things about being healthy is our options. One, it costs much more to be healthier. The food is way more expensive. It's not like you can go down the street. I can go down the street right now and get McDonald's. I can go down the street right now and get Burger King. I can't just go down the street right now and get something healthy. So it's harder to do, right? It's harder to find. So I do get that. And I'm pro on not criticizing people without having some type of solution. I'm with that. Again, that's why I said I haven't watched the interview. I'm just talking about the fact that obesity is the leading cause of death, and we have to educate ourselves, right? And we can't just have the excuse of they. It's our responsibility to eat healthy. It's our responsibility to do what we got to do to survive. I'm not taking nothing away from the government and the foul things that they did, the things that they put in our community. Shit, they put crack cocaine in our community and then locked us up for trying to make a living for ourselves. I get it. I'm not against that. I'm saying we do have to take some responsibility for ourselves as well.
1000%. I'm 1000% with you on that. But the thing that I urge you to be careful with when you're dealing with people like Candace Owens, and she comes from a very large group of voices on the conservative side, they will take the medicine and they will put poison in it. So she's taking a positive topic like obesity, and she's gonna come off like, yo, I just want us to be more healthy, man. I want this to be better. Like, I want this to be this. But then you'll start hearing her have the undertones, like in the interview with Joe, she's making a point, and then she starts saying, yeah, man, because people just misunderstood the Nazis in it. And you go, whoa. It was just like, and yeah, the certain little points that the Nazis did might have been cool, but what they're doing is they're softening the ground up to start, reinterpreting different things. Once again, you putting a poison in the medicine. So you want to have an obesity discussion, but you don't want to talk about the major corporations that are making billions off of it. But you just talk about let's keep beating up on Lizzo. Yeah, beat up on her because she's fat and disgusting. She's going out in public and I hate her and da. And it's just like, no.
But go ahead. Let's not beat up Lizzo. Let's not beat up anybody, right? But let's address those issues when those issues occur. So when she says something about KKK or the Nazis, we address that, right? But let me ask you this question, and not even just you. And it's a rhetorical question, has Candace Owens said anything that made you feel bad about yourself being a bigger person? And if the answer is yes to my bigger people out there, then I think it's helping. Why? Because now you can do something. Because if you don't feel like what you're doing is wrong, you will never do anything. You will never do anything about your situation. Now, if someone is bringing something that makes you feel uncomfortable and it's like, no, I got to make a change, then it's for the better. Sometimes I think, again, this might be bad because I never really heard her talk like that, and I don't want to be defending somebody that's just foul. You feel me? That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just giving a perspective on it. Sometimes we ignore the message because it's coming from the wrong, because of
it's coming from the wrong messenger,
right? And I'm saying let's forget the messenger and let's understand the message. The message is obesity is killing our people, bro. I can't make this up, bro. I can have this conversation because I don't even care about so much stuff. I put this on everything, bro. And it's not really obesity is about diabetes, but diabetes come from obesity. I swear I'm looking at A-Town. Remember A-Town?
Yes, sir.
And he has he had kidney failure. And I'm looking into him like, man, this is so sad what's going on with A-Town. And then I start to see Freeway. He had the same thing, kidney failure. And he said he was just doing whatever. He wasn't getting no rest. He was on shows. He was living his best life, bro. And it's happened out of nowhere. And I found out that kidney failure came from diabetes, and one of the causes of diabetes is something that we don't even have a control of, bro. It's being black. Being black is, I guess, diabetes is high amongst black people, African American people. This is just me doing research, right? That's something that's out of my control. So if I'm already born with a short end of the stick, I gotta take responsibility. So I don't. I gotta take responsibility for my own life. Is what I'm trying to say. So if her message is saying, "Yo, we gotta do better," I think we can just do a better job at hearing the message so we can protect ourselves. That's really it. Not defending her.
No, I feel what you're saying. I'm only going to push back in the way of, yes, listening to the message is very important, but understanding the agenda of the messenger is also very important. And there's a very serious reason why a lot of our best and brightest voices in the media space avoid having her on their platforms, because a lot of the audience cannot distinguish the nuances of what she is saying. So like I, as a person that does interviews and as a talking head, as a profession, I can listen to her and I can hear the sword fighting and the, what she's trying to do. I can see what she's trying to lay out. I can see how she's trying to make certain things happen. And I can distinguish between good rhetoric from bad rhetoric. But the normal person that is emotional, shout out to my man Jones, man. Shout out to my guy, man. That's my guy right there. But the reason why I have a problem with people like her is regular individuals who are still attached to their emotions, who can't understand that there is a lot going, that there's layers to these discussions, will get emotionally attached to these positive, these big sweeping positive messages, but then get caught up in the nuance of the being brought into the community, and she's sounding so welcoming and all these, and then you start believing the nuances that she's bringing out, all of the little things about conservatism and we need to get away from this and get away from that, and then our community is impressionable because we aren't as educated and we don't want to do research. We just want to get emotionally caught up and we start loving on somebody and then we just follow them all the way down the road. You know what I'm saying? We need to love, but still challenge. We need to listen, but still research. We should not allow ourselves, and no matter who it is, whether it's me, Jay Hill, Candace Owens, anybody, let's have conversations, but do your own research. Don't just follow blindly into the fray, but there are millions of people that do that. And because our Black people, because we want to get out of the situation that we're in so bad that we are willing to follow people through the desert, starving and thirsty, just because somebody can promise us a brighter day. She does work and makes millions of dollars with a lot of conservative organizations that are actively doing things to screw our community. But she don't give a fuck about that because she's making money and she's willing to put these things out here so she can get paid. But go ahead.
How do we say it? Ashaya? I hope I'm not slaughtering your name. I think Shaya. I hope I'm not slaughtered. Ashaya. It says, who cares about what you think about what she said? The question is she right?
Is she right about what?
What she's saying about obesity?
Yes, Miss Ashaya, that means you haven't been paying attention to everything we're saying. You can't talk about the general. Is obesity bad? Yes. Okay. So do you feel like we should line up all of the fat people and shoot them in the face? Should we go after that? Once again, y'all keep saying, what is she saying right? Yes, a general statement. Yes. But what are we talking? When we start, let's get into the nuanced discussion about where the solutions lie. And then that's where her wheels fall off. If we're just talking about general conversation, it's beautiful. Yes, we want everybody to live decent, wonderful lives and But when you start going 2 and 3 layers down into the depths of the real discussion. So, Miss Ashaya, that means you feel like we should vote for Trump because Joe Biden didn't do as much for Black people as Trump did, because Trump pardoned Lil Wayne and Trump pardoned this, and he might have took some very surface level actions towards helping our community, surface level actions, and Joe Biden didn't. But let's be real. Joe Biden has done way more for all communities and not just black communities to rebalance our country. But if you're not paying attention to day-to-day politics, you don't know that. If you're just listening to talking heads talk random stuff, it's going to be a problem. Exactly. You didn't say nothing about Trump, but once again, the point I'm making is, and I didn't say she didn't make good points. The point I'm making is that the deeper elements that are a part of her belief system, just agreeing with some surface level stuff doesn't solve a problem.
Me personally, I don't think that even if they made the conversation surface level, I don't think it's surface level, because this is a real thing that people are dying from. Like, right, I went to the doctor 6 months ago, maybe a little more than 6 months ago. I was overweight and I was pushing like high blood pressure and pushing what is it, pre-diabetes.
Right,
I had to do something about it. Right now, it's a conversation of people born like this. Now that's different. If you have the it's different from somebody being able to change their life and change their habits than somebody just not having a choice. Right now, and that's something that I can understand. People are born bigger, right? People are born overweight. People are born in these, like I said, born in having the short end of the stick. That's different. Now we can't just have these surface level conversations of saying all big people, because all big people ain't the same. All people in general ain't the same, right? Me gaining weight and allowing myself to allowing it to get out of control is different from somebody that's born out of overweight, if that makes sense. And I think we should have some type of we should be aware of our words when we having these conversations, for sure, 100%, because two different things. But if you have the opportunity, and if you wasn't born overweight, if you have the opportunity to lose weight, to have a better diet, to have a better health style, I think we can learn from what she's saying. That's all I'm saying. No matter how it's coming off, right? We can take that message and make it gold.
Let's clarify something, because Mrs. Shia just made a statement in the comments that I think she's misconstruing. I love Candace Owens to a certain extent. There are, as a professional pundit, she is one of the best of this new generation. When you're talking about skillful orators, she's definitely that. There are things that I believe in that she speaks on that I love. The point I'm making is that I am as skeptical of her as I am of Joe Buttons, whom I love. I have paid for tickets for Jay Hill to see Joe Buttons, but when I will the first person to say Joe says fucked up shit and has done fucked up shit. He's made huge mistakes. Candace Owens has made huge mistakes and it's fucked up on many different levels. They are good and bad both at the same time. The point I'm making is we have to be willing to do our own research. And as Jay Hill just said, he's dealt with being overweight. I have been dealing with obesity my entire life. It has been a constant struggle of mine. I do not have diabetes. My mom has type 2 diabetes. It is something that I have to deal with internally and externally. So, and you said you are making no points. Obviously, if you just decide that you don't want to hear what I'm saying, I guess I'm not. So at the end of the day, I'm telling everybody to do your own research, to start looking below the surface level of the conversations. The other thing I'm always going to say is, what solutions are we bringing to the table? That's the other part of it. Yes, we can talk about obesity till we blue in the face. And is this person making a point? That person, I'm not your enemy. I'm not against you. I'm trying to say, hey, bro, let's all get into the discussion, not just to point the finger and identify a problem. Let's have productive conversations on how we can attack the issue in a holistic manner so that we all can benefit long term, not just in the short term, but in the long term. You know 100%. What I mean?
I think that's a great point. And sometimes I think it's funny because we could argue that she's doing the same thing Lizzo was doing when Lizzo went to the Lakers game in this provocative way, shaking her ass to get a response. I feel like again, I don't know her, but it seems like she might live up to this Candace Owens persona because she created it one, and now it's like this is what's getting me the attention. This is what people are. I'm having people have a conversation now, so let me live up to that, right? But sometimes It's a time and place, and sometimes you do more harm than good when you try to live up to that persona. That's it.
That's very true. That's very true. Yo, and let me tell you this, and one thing, and one of the reasons why I'm open to listening to people on both sides of the aisle, and we should all be willing to do that. Like, yo, that's the one thing I love about Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan's gonna have a conservative on, he's gonna have a liberal on. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to listen to Trump the same way I'm willing to listen to Biden. I'm willing to listen to this person where I watch videos on the KKK, bro, when they spit in their rhetoric. I need to understand. I want to understand how they got to the place that they got to. You know what I'm saying? Yo, like if we all sit in our little corners and we go, that person bad, me good, we can never get to a point of growth. You can't connect with somebody if you don't understand that person. I can't get you to see me as a human. If you're not even, if I'm not willing to talk to you, how can you see me as a human being? You know what I mean? Like, and those are super important elements. So like, and we all need to, and this goes back to what we said at the beginning of the show, is meditation, taking time to take the step back and remove our emotions and look at things from a just, how does this affect my world? Is this element good? Is this element bad? You know, the emotions can exist, but it cannot control my decision making, and it cannot control how I have a discussion. 100%. And then the more you do that, the more you get to the place where you don't have an emotion at all.
Hey guys, I think this was great. Listen, make sure you sign up for the Patreon. It's patreon.com/Mr. J Hill Podcast. I appreciate that.
She in the comments like crazy. You sign up. Come on, it's only $3. Come on,
sign up, man. Come on, man.
What's that? K Nero Lape. Oh, that's a nice name. You got a fly name. Yo, sign up. It's $3. Trap Set Network. Sign up.
Go ahead. Yo, you put something else. Did you want to talk about this, or you want to?
Do you need to go? Because it seemed like you need to go.
I think I have some more. I have a little bit of time. We can get through it if you want to.
All right. Now, this is all about the importance. I want to play this clip because it's reminding me about why it's so important that we do what we do.
Oh, yeah. Come on, family. Come on, family.
That's what I'm talking about. What's that? Is that 3 down? We 3 down?
Nero. Hey, Nero, can we get a Patreon subscribe? Can you become a patron?
Please,
Ashaya, can you become a patron? You contribute to this conversation a great deal. Now, can you become a patron? Patreon.com/J Hill Podcast.
Sure. And Shorty, I appreciate you for tapping in and giving us your opinions. I really do. Thank you so much.
My God, let's get it. Oh, okay. I know what that is. I'm about to do his podcast.
Oh, for real? Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm about to go to I don't know if I'm going to Virginia Beach or Houston, but I'm about to do that podcast. Shout out to them. They just actually updated their Patreon as well. So shout out to them. I thank you so much for you. And he been supporting for a second too. Thank you so much, bro. For real. I mean that. Let's get into this. You ready, Jay? Or
yes, sir. I'm ready.
All right.
Out of all the interviews that you've had in these many years, there's one that stands out as the most profound.
Ooh, most profound interview. Well, so I've interviewed people like literal dictators, like people that have killed people, like Pervez. I don't know if you remember, Pervez Musharraf was the leader of Pakistan, and this was post 9/11. So, and Al Qaeda had been threatening him with an assassination. Now, I've had great, like Malala Yousafzai and Bishop Desmond Tutu, Jimmy Carter, like people of pure goodness. Like they vibrate on a different plane of kindness and goodness than most people, and you can feel it on them. And then you have dictators, slightly different vibe. So Pervez Musharraf, it was only memorable because he was at the time the president of Pakistan, and he was under assassination threat. He'd just written a book, and it was his autobiography, I think. And so he came here to the show to promote it. And that day, we had snipers on the roof. We had AK-47s in the hallway, guys marching. We had bomb dogs. We had, it was a level of security that I had never seen before. And I realized, like, this man is risking his life to tell his story on this show. I should have read the book. That's what I remember thinking. Is I thought, oh shit, I feel terrible now. There's this guy's. He could die, and I'm just gonna be like, so is Pakistan hot? Like, I didn't know shit. But the crazy part was, even with all that security layer, right? In the studio, they put a Kevlar.
We can put this on pause because he's just leading up to another joke. But okay. I want to. I when people come to me and ask me, why do you like doing interviews? And I always say the same thing. I'm like, the value of somebody's story is always greater than we see it on the surface. We might be walking around thinking this, I am about to knock this out. Da, 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 da. And I know Jay can attest to this. There have been times when we've been dismissive about an interview and that person sit in front of us and they will blow us away. You'll be like, holy shit. Like, I wasn't prepared for the dialogue and even the impact or just how tragic somebody's story is. There are going to be people, namely sometimes yourself, that when you sit across from someone, how they can change your perspective on life just by telling their story. To see the weight sometimes when that person sits in front of you and be so tense in the beginning, and to watch their shoulders gradually come down and the wall come down and the openness comes and the happiness comes from being able to let go of this weight that they've been carrying sometimes their entire life. To sit across from somebody and tell you the complexities of the human condition from their perspective, that's gold. Especially for people of color, because all of us have so many trials and tribulations we have to fight to get to the next day, to get through the next year, to get to, and that's why I love when I meet the older black people in their 70s and their 80s and their 60s, because they got these glowing stories that are like, whoo, you know, I'm going through, you know, Vietnam, coming out through, just imagine a time period way before social media, man. Like, how did they make it through? How did they find success or happiness or love and to see the world change as much as it's have? I be trying to tell people, I be talking to my nieces and nephews. Do you know how much the world has changed since the inception of the iPhone? Think about how much the world has changed. The iPhone didn't exist when MySpace was out. Think about that. The iPhone didn't exist when Facebook became popular. There was a time period when iPhone came, the world changed, because the ability to now, I can visually see somebody on my phone and I can converse with that person, seeing what they're doing. That's new.
Yo, and to add to what you're saying, bro, just the importance of like not sleeping on no guests.
Facts.
Boy, it's been times I'm human. It's been times where I slept on guests and that interview went crazy, and now I look crazy because I don't like. It's been times where I slept on a guest and the interview went crazy, and now the comments look crazier because they can see that I slept on a guest whole time. In my mind, I'm like, man, this ain't gonna do no numbers. I'm just here to do my job. It go viral and everybody like, man, this nigga don't know what he talking about. He ain't do his research, da 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 da. And that's the importance. And not even just that, but also if you want to invite somebody to your space, you want them to feel comfortable. Right? I feel like that's just respect. And I shout out to Saraya. She said something, and I said this many of times before, but if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. What that means is, if it's something that you got to doubt and you want to complain about in the long run, just say no and save yourself some time. Save yourself the energy, right? So if it's a hell yes, then you should be doing everything in your power to make it a hell yes and make the experience a hell yes as well, right? For the other person. So I think it's definitely been times where I've slept on guests, or not even just slept on guests, where I didn't make time and I wasn't intentional with my research. right? Because I thought I might have known him, right? And shit, I'd be 100%, bro. Even with the little mama interview, I wasn't able to. I had a conversation before our interview, which was good, like which was something I really wanted to start doing, but I wasn't able to. I was so busy, I wasn't able to do as much research. And it was a point in the interview, and I told my editor this, and he thought I was crazy. I said, bro, it was some missed opportunities in that interview that I didn't like. She was talking about it just was distasteful, to be honest. She was talking about I think her mother. Oh, it was something, bro. It was something she was talking about. And I stopped her and I made a joke about her looking like Bow Wow. And that shit made me want to throw up. Like she and shout out to her because she didn't some people are just great interviewers and just like she didn't take it nowhere at the time. But me listening back to it and rewatching it, I was like, bro, that was disgusting. And I remember telling my editor, shout out to Nick, I'm like, yo, it was just a couple parts where I ain't like me. And he's like, nah, bro, that shit was mad good. It was mad good. I'm like, yeah, you might not have caught that part, but I caught that part. And I remember somebody on one of the comments on YouTube had said they had mentioned that exact part. And I responded. I'm like, you was right. Cause I was like, I'm so mad you caught that because like that shit was disgusting. Like, but because I already knew, you know what I'm saying? But those little things like that, because what if the guest caught it? And what if she and that could have thrown off the whole interview? Because that was before I even got to the Jay-Z moment. Mind you, a lot of these conversations, a lot of these vulnerable moments these vulnerable and transparent moments come from people feeling uncomfortable. Imagine if she didn't feel comfortable in that moment, she would have left, or she might not even wanted to open up. I would have never had this big moment, right? So that's why I say shout out to her, because she might not have seen it, she might not have cared. She was just a good person to talk to. But little things like that, well, not even little, let's be mindful of our words. These are big things that we don't look at, that we need to. So like when we doing these interviews, when we talking to anybody, a job interview, whatever, you definitely want to put the time in to get to know the person, no matter how big or small you might think they are.
That's a fact. And yo, little mama is such a prime example of that. This discussion has been had a million times. That was over a decade ago.
Yeah.
You were still got a viral moment because you were able to bring a perspective that nobody had. And yo, when I saw that shit go viral, I was like, really? But the way they took it and the way she spoke about it, I was like, I get it.
I'm gonna be real. Some things I be knowing about. Like I told Nick this before we did the clip. It's certain things I told Nick, I said, yo, I want it to be like this. Mind you, I don't manipulate my clips. Like I don't manipulate them that much. I told Nick, I said, yo, when she cried, it wasn't about Jay-Z at all, right?
Right.
She cried because she understood that moment was nothing compared to what people are really going through in the world. That was the point of that was the whole point of what she was saying. I told Nick, let's change it a little bit because I know this is going to get people attention, right? And it did that, right? Because even when I hit her, she was like, y'all manipulated this clip. I'm like, yeah, but we could change it back. She sent it to our team. She was like, we're gonna keep it, because she was like, bro, that's not what I said. Because what she said right after the question was, God got me through, family got me through, right? But I just knew the emotions, like I just when it comes to creating content, something in me, I'm like, I know the emotions is going to capture people's attention, right? And for me, it's like 50-50, but a lot of people are on our side. Like I feel like she got a lot of people are supporting her from this. But it's crazy because I don't really do that to my clips. Like I don't really get them out of like out of place. But in that one moment, I'm like, yo, if we can make it in a way where we show her vulnerability, I think it will go. And it so happened to go.
It went something crazy, bro.
Yeah,
man. Like I am in awe of how much you've evolved. Not just as a man, but just as a creative man. Like I wouldn't have thought to do that. I'm be honest with you. I would have never thought to do that. So like that's genius, bro. That is what being a great producer is about. It's just like taking the moments and amplifying them so the world will pay attention to it. You know what I mean? And that is, once again, it goes back into that when you're locked in and you're purposeful, the impact is made.
Well, another thing I wanted to talk about.
Go ahead.
David Shands brought this up. We was just not joking, but we was having like a debate, and this is a good point. He didn't mean it like this, but it was a good point. And me wanting to show people's human side show the human side of celebrities, a lot of times they have to relive harmful and hurtful situations. And damn, this is it. Damn. It's hard for me to say that because like that's my goal. I want people to see the human side in people, but I don't want people to have to revisit or relive this trauma if they're not ready for it, because that can be hurtful. And I'm gonna check on mama because I don't know. Hopefully, she seems like she was over it, but like, what is worth it? Like, what is all this worth for? Right? Because like my goal is to show my guests in a human side so people can learn from it. And I thought for me, the most important part of it was people are going through way worse things than this. I can get over this. If I can get over this, you can get over what you're going through as well, right? Is that worth somebody having to relive something so traumatic to bring back potential I don't know, depression, to bring back potential hurtful feelings? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, we would really have to have a conversation to know if they are over this completely, because people on the internet can be mean.
I feel like that's something that should be maybe spoken about in conversation. You know, whether or not it's okay to, you know, I might stop a guest and ahead of time. It's like, man, I really would like to talk about X, X, Y, and Z from the past. Are you in a space to talk about this? You know, by you having this conversation, will this affect you? Will you end up going back to that moment and reliving the moment? You know, and if you ask them that, you know, because everybody's in different levels, you know, everybody's in different spaces of emotional and mental development. So some people, like I said, like I spoke about my brother early on in the show, like he still lives in that tragedy, and like he's very sensitive to those things. So if I were to ever speak on things from that moment, he will literally. You ever had somebody to where they tell you the same story over and over again? And then it's like, bro, I was there, but he'll literally keep telling me the story. Yo, remember? And then this day, and then he'll get excited and he starts getting ramped up, and it's like, shit. Like, you know what I mean? Why did I fucking touch this? Because I knew he or she was going to go off. So like, yeah, man, like you should definitely, that should be a part of your pre-production.
Even that though is because like we say we're over things, or we say we don't care about things when we really don't know, because again, the internet is a crazy place. You feel me? So it's like, even if I'm over it, am I prepared what could come from it? Because like I said, for me in the beginning, a lot of responses was, oh, I love Lil Mama. Lil Mama, like she's underrated. We respect Lil Mama, respect. And then on the back end of it, like you start to see some of the hate, and it's like, damn, like at the end, I don't want to. I don't want to be counterproductive of my purpose. My purpose is to show people in the human, like, but it's like now I'm thinking about it, it's like, can we ever do that on the internet? Because the internet is so ignorant. Even when you do show people your vulnerability, they will play it against you. They will use it against you. And it's like, am I doing more harm than good with having people be transparent and be I don't know, because me personally, I think your story is a superpower, right? But I do see on the internet people can use it against you, and I don't know, that ain't my goal to have somebody revisit a harmful moment to potentially put them in a harmful position or place in their life. I don't know.
Right. But you know, even though a person may not know, it's always a loving and respectful way to introduce a topic. Hey, are you comfortable with me going into this? Because if you're not in a healthy place, I don't want to trigger you, you know, and then let that be that. At least they'll know that you care enough to even ask.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, I didn't have anything profound to say about that. But yeah, bro. 2 hours and 41 minutes, bro. I'm proud of you. Okay.
Yeah. My two longest lives back to back, man. The last one we did was 3 hours. This is 2:45. Yo, this is, I can't believe streaming is taking this long. Listen, if you are still on here, that means you support us, right? It's not a lot, but if you can, again, patreon.com/the J Hill Podcast. Come on, man. If I can get one more member. Just one more. $3. Come on.
Yo, did De Niro sign up?
Yes, he did. He actually hit me in the DM to get the link. Shout out to you, Nero. I appreciate that, brother.
All right. Did Ashaya sign up? Did we get you Ashaya?
Ashaya signed up.
All right. We are still
the conversation.
Yeah. I appreciate you for tapping in. If anybody's on live, and don't forget to sign up, just subscribe to the YouTube channel. All you gotta do is hit that subscribe button. Do us a favor, hit that like button on this joint, and share this to somebody else you think might enjoy it. To all of my family in Baltimore, we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Please continue to show love and support. You know, we do this for Baltimore, bro. I tell y'all that. Oh, I tell niggas that all the time, bro. We love our hometown. We still don't know why, but we love our
Yeah, man. It's Baltimore
crazy.
got us in a chokehold, man.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a
Yo,
fact.
it's crazy. Damn, we don't got
What
time
do
to talk
what
about
do you
that.
miss the most about Baltimore? Come on, yo, be honest. Like when you down in Atlanta, you've been down there what 3 years now?
2 years. It's going on 3 years.
What is the thing you miss the most about Baltimore?
The food.
Okay.
I miss the comfortability, being able to just get out and go. But I'm grown now. I probably won't be able to do that anyway. Just being able to kick it with my friends. I miss the I don't want to say genuine. This is another word for the authenticity. I feel like in Baltimore, there's no reason. Like if I don't have a reason to rock with you, I don't have to rock with you, right? In Atlanta, it's not like that per se. It's like a lot of these relationships are transactional. But again, I'm older, so I guess I understand it. A lot of it's like, man, it's work. This is business. It is what it is. I think that's it, man. But one thing I don't know, man. Like, cause I seen this. It's somebody passed. I forgot the guy name in Philly. What's his name? If you know the guy name in Philly that passed away, he just passed away, and I seen Philly like just distraught because like that was like a big figure in Philly,
Yeah.
and it reminded me of Baltimore because we lost so many people that was like doing their thing, and it's
Facts.
like it almost hit home, and it made me like not miss Baltimore at all because I felt the pain that Philly felt. We felt the pain that Philly felt. It's like, and me being somebody popular and that got something going for itself, it almost feel like I lose a piece of me every time I see one of these people pass because I see me in them. Like when Lil Scooter passed, like Lil Scooter he was that dog, right? When it was a G Songs was a comedian that was like that nigga, right? So when you see these things, it's like, man, damn, like I'm on the route or the road to being that guy too. That could be me, or when it's my turn. So like that was really like depressing, and you get depressing, and you get some sort of kind of like PTSD from it. So like me saying that from Philly, like it just brought me back to home, and it's like, man, I need to. I'm glad I'm where I'm at.
You know, and I think that's some weirdo shit because every time I know you in Baltimore, I always be worried. Like, man, this nigga need to hurry and get the fuck up out of the city. Cause I just don't want you to be in certain spaces because people don't know how to deal with the person you've become. Not that you've changed as a man, but you occupy a different space. So now the perception of you is different. So I would never want nobody to feel like, all right, now I got to step to this nigga, or they step to you just about some music shit, but you might be too busy. Now they catch your feelings over it. So like, that's why you be like, why you always want to be up under me when I'm in the city? I'll be like, because I feel like a buffer. When I'm around, I just like being a buffer for you. Like, you know what I mean? And just kind of like making your travel a little easier, you know, just taking all that shit up late, you know what I mean? But it is what it is.
Yo, it's so much more to talk about, but we got to get out of here, man. We did 245. That's good, y'all. That's good. Come on.
Yeah.
Can I get one more patron? One more patron. One more patron. One more patron. One more patron. One more. Shout out to my guy Nero. He just hit me in the DM. He said, let me read it. He said, damn, you should just copy and paste it, bro. But he was like, if I can contribute some values to your movement, I'll be delighted to, my brother. I appreciate that. People that just want to help out and just be a part of the movement, bro. Like I know it's cliche, but like I wouldn't be here without y'all, man. Like that means a lot to me. Like for real, 100%, bro. That's why I'm willing to do more on the Patreon side, even though at a smaller cost, because like niggas is really supporting me. You feel me? And I want to show y'all that I can grow with y'all, and a nigga can get success and still be himself. So many times we see niggas get success and they change, they unfollow the people that support them, that got them there. I want to show y'all. I want to be able to look back and be like, I told you so, in a good way.
Word. Hey, I'm on a Patreon too. Hey, Nero, yo, hit me on Patreon, bro. Hit me on the J Hill Patreon in the chat.
Yeah, I told him download the app too. So like, nah, man, I want to show niggas that like I can be solid too. You feel me? Like, I can still. That's why I'm building this community, man. But Appreciate what we're gonna do. So our recording days is supposed to be Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern time. Sometimes things happen. So that's why we had to get it done today on Tuesday. But again, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. That's JS1 a supplier. I put his Instagram on there is JS the number 1 THA supplier. Spelled the right way.
SUPPLIER. Yo, Jonathan, hit me on the Patreon, bro. Nero, hit me on the Patreon. Trap said hit me on the Patreon. Jump in the comments.
Let's try to do another one of these just for Patreon members though, and where they could join and they could talk and they could chop it up. Maybe like, I mean, I know we just started this one, so I don't want to put too much on your plate, but maybe I could do it by myself. I don't know.
Can they be on the screen?
Yeah, I mean, if they give us their email, you feel me? Let's delegate in the chat, man. We see y'all on the chat and Patreon. We appreciate y'all.
Yeah. Peace.